Alright. Oh god. Infinite OBS. There we go. Hi. Let's just move OBS onto the other screen. I'm fucking organised. Brilliant. Hello everyone who's already here. Hi. Hello. Yes, we're doing TARDIS today, and I've got with me... Billy, introduce yourself.
I'm sorry, mate. I thought you were going to do like a film up to it.
No, don't.
Oh, yeah. All right. Okay. Hello. Hi, everybody. I'm here. I'm not very good at the intros. I do stuff, and I'm here today. So there we go.
Brilliant.
Is that enough?
You didn't even say your fucking name.
Oh, my name's Billy. To be fair, you did say it already.
Yeah, but they could be Billy Tracy putting on a different voice.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah,
that's the. Yeah, he's good at that. He can do that.
It's focusing. Come on, you cunt. I know my face is.
It's me. It's Billy Garrett-John. I do things online. There we go.
I think that's in focus. Sweet. Yep. Right, we're doing TARDIS today, which is I cannot fucking remember it.
Oh, I remember. The reason I wanted to do it was because you could walk around the TARDIS, and I thought that was really cool when it came out, and I thought it would be neat to see it again and all that stuff.
Problem is, I've been doing it in Second Life for years, and I had a fucking physical console before, so the novelty had kind of worn off for me.
Right. Okay. Fair enough. I'm absolutely pumped for this VR game coming out.
Oh, that does look good. I've still got to play, so I've got a Oculus Rift over there. I've not played the one that's... I've got it downloaded, I've just not got around to playing... is it the Runaway?
Yes, the Runaway, yeah.
By the way, how's the levels for everyone? Because I know on the Trilby stream, Trilbs was quite quiet. Does Billy sound alright?
Oh, it's very loud compared to everything else. What can I can shuffle some stuff around here. If I go down like that, is that better or worse, or how does that sound?
It's kind of hard for me to tell, but
I've got it set down to.
I can edit you here, I think.
Yeah, I've got it set down to half of what it was basically. So I'll just keep.
You're not peaking on the red now, so that's something.
Oh, that's good. That's
good.
Yeah.
Hang on a second. Let me just open the chat again. How's that sound now? Because we'll probably have to edit it all again when we get into the fucking game, but
yeah, that's okay. Yeah, it looks cool.
Because the game is obnoxiously loud.
That's fine.
The only downside with you having to watch this through stream is you're not going to see Matt Smith's terrible acting in this.
No, what a shame.
Oh, he does not give a shit.
I think it's one of those things like if you're being dragged in and out to do press stuff. And then you've got to sign off on your action figure.
Yeah, because that's his first year as well. He must have been.
Exactly. Yeah, they crammed so much stuff in his first year.
I think he's a bit. From what I've seen, he's a bit better in the shitty Wii game. I think because he had a bit more physical, because he was all motion captured and all that for it.
Oh right, I didn't know that. That's
yeah,
cool.
If you watch the performance in this, he's really stiff and awkward because it's just animated. But whereas the Wii game, they stuck all the little balls on him, gave him like a wooden replica of his console to play with.
Oh, ace!
I've seen
That's
some
really cool.
I've seen some behind-the-scene photos. Right, let's get this loaded up. We can check the audio. Oh, wow! This one actually didn't take that much of a ball ache to organise.
It's because I'm brilliant.
It's because last time to Trilby we kept having things pop up and it kept getting delayed and delayed. Oh, thank you. I forgot to hit fucking record because I'm a moron.
Oh, that was my fault for not saying anything probably.
Yes, hello, we're recording now, okay.
Hey.
Yes.
You've not missed anything.
Yeah, Billy Garrett-John's here, it's fine. It's fine! Right, Chris Marshall.
Yep, always go for the Chris Marshall.
Yeah. It's okay. It's not fucked up yet. If I hit record, I've still got the Twitch catch-up thing I can download, but that's just a ball ache.
Yeah.
Right, TARDIS.
And so there's 4 in the original run.
Why is the door opening outwards?
I didn't see that.
Yeah.
They've got 4 in the original run, and then they've got the educational
gunpowder plot separate. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I'm glad they did these. I'm glad they exist. I'm glad.
Yeah. Problem is there's a very sort of hard to get decent Doctor Who games.
Yeah, it's going to be nice to actually have something. Like, even Matt and I were a bit sniffy about the Runaway when that got announced and the kind of footage came out.
Yeah.
Because it was so cartoony. And I guess, for this level, this is probably as realistic as it was ever going to get.
Yeah.
You know? But it's neat that we're going to get something that's so so much more polished.
I think the cartoony thing works a bit for the runway, because problem with trying to do ultra realistic in VR, you really bored of that uncanny valley sort of thing.
Totally.
Which is the reason why I've still not. Because I refuse to play horror games on that so far, because I'm a massive wuss.
Yeah, same. I mean,
saying that, I do want to get Five Nights at Freddy's VR, because that looks terrifying.
I'm going to try and save up for the PSVR just for Edge of Time when it comes out, and then grab that and play the ever-loving hell out of it. And there's a what's it called? There's like, doesn't it get bundled with like a series of mini games like the Wii did?
Yeah, the Rift did, which came with one of my favourite games ever, which is Robo Recall, where basically you're just teleporting around the street shooting robots that you can you can grab them, you can throw them back, you can use one as a human shield and blow its head off. It's
oh my word!
You get to be very violent in that.
I've not had a lot of experiences with VR, but what I have seen is awesome. And the thing I was saying about like the runaway, Matt and I being a bit sniffy about it, obviously working where he works, he's got a lot of that kind of equipment there, so he's actually played it and he says it's actually really good.
I've seen like gameplay of it, but again I've not had a chance to. I've had a chance, I just couldn't be asked.
I suppose half of it is just that thing of, oh, I'm actually in the TARDIS.
Yeah.
And I'm actually doing stuff in it.
I just wish it was a nice TARDIS. There is a free experience thing, which isn't perfect, but it's done in Smith's. Is it Smith or Capaldi's TARDIS? I think it's still in Smith's.
I've seen it.
Yeah, still in Smith's because there's no bookcases. That's quite good. The problem is it's not optimized for the Oculus Rift, because Rift is usually forward facing. You have to use a switch to spin yourself around.
Okay.
Whereas with the Vive, you can fully spin round wherever. So sometimes you sort of look behind you, your tracking goes off, and I'm just playing the game shit.
Okay.
it's meant to be dramatic. I'm like, I'll just suffocate. It's alright. Stay there, mate. He can't breathe. Oh come on, Peter Davison survived much longer than that out in space.
That is very true. It's just nice being able to wander around the TARDIS. Like, that's so nice. Like looking at it all rendered and.
I don't know how accurate a replica it looks. It looks pretty.
It looks pretty bang on, to be fair. Like, a lot of the detail probably would have been shredded out of it just because.
I don't know. The console looks. I think there's a few bits missing from the console, but it looks pretty close. I'm not an expert on this console, so I don't know.
I was going to say, like, unless aside from, I guess, the bits that you need to interact with, most of it is going to be missing. You know. I didn't realise those bits and bobs moved on the sides of the console. That's cool. I'm watching everything slightly delayed from everybody else, so...
I think Smith actually sounds a little bit better in this than he did in the last couple of games.
Yeah. Yeah, I think maybe he just dug into it, because I can't imagine he did a lot of this kind of...
No.
Performance beforehand.
I've minimised it a sec because I haven't got Twitch open. I've got the OBS one, and it's kind of hard to see the chat, so I'll quickly flick that up in a sec.
Cool.
Yeah, I still think Smith's my favourite new series Doctor.
Yeah, I think it much. I worry that Capaldi's not going to have the same renaissance that a lot of other older Doctors have had, just because going back. Like, he's obviously terrific through it, but the stories don't really hold up.
I don't really like his Doctor in these first series.
I think they nailed him for Series 10. I thought they'd done the dark, evil, ruminating kind of,
That impression was fucking terrible.
Thank you.
Look, if I wanted someone doing constant impressions, I would have got Matt. All right.
Well, that's fine. Or you could get anyone in to do it, but what you've got is me, and everyone's gonna have to deal with it. Sorry. But yeah, like I really like his first series, with the exception of like the finale, and then I think for Series 10 they kind of found a really nice balance between his dark, angry self and the over the top disco uncle they had.
Oh god, that bit I know I keep saying about this, but that bit where he comes out in the tank fucking ruined it for me. It's like, oh fuck this. yeah, I know. I think they went too far the other way because they were probably worried about the response that he was getting. Yeah, it's clear you can see the producers like, no, you got to make him more like Smith and Tennant, and it doesn't work.
I had a conversation with somebody who shall not be named, considering their fall from grace quite a while ago. Oh, actually, very recently, and they were basically telling me that Moff was sending the script back and saying, no, make him nasty and make him mean and make him. And it was like, well, I can't do that without making the Doctor just completely unlikable. And yeah, I think they ended up having a bit of a falling out over that episode. So
yeah, that's my biggest problem with Capaldi is he's just so inconsistent. It's but on to I've seen comment about Smith here. I do think Smith, even Smith's terrible stories, he seems to sort of pull it through. I find.
Yeah,
I'm just leaving. Speaking of Smith, I'm just leaving him to suffocate at the moment.
he never phones it in.
No,
like I've never got the impression that he wasn't invested in what he was doing.
Yeah, whereas Capaldi, if he was in a story he didn't like, you could kind of tell.
Yeah, and I think they're all professionals. They're all actors at the end of the day, and I think that sometimes you can see Matt desperately trying to make something work and polish a turd of a script.
Yeah,
and sometimes Peter's just gonna. He'll do his thing and it'll still be terrific, but it's not going to be.
He's not doing that extra bit which is needed to make it watchable. I better save him because if not, he's just gonna. Oh wait, I need to. What do I need to do? We're gonna have the same problem I have every time I play this game, where I don't know what the fuck I'm doing because I'm talking too much.
He said there's a tractor beam you need to snag him in. I don't know.
That'll be the time.
That'll be whatever's glowing, I expect.
Oh, I think it's because when I walked through a corridor, I came out to another door, so I've got to fix something.
Timey-wiminess.
See, I've seen someone talk about Tom Baker. Tom Baker's great for about a third of his series, I find. But I
think he's like he is the Doctor, but I think. I really don't like the Graham Williams era. I was having a conversation with somebody about this yesterday. Exactly, and I was like, if you take the majority of his era to be, the level of, I don't know, your Pyramids of Mars or whatever, it doesn't match up. And it's the same thing with if you look at Daniel Craig's Bond films, like he's got 2 god tier Bond movies in Casino Royale and Skyfall, and the other 2 are poo.
I kind of like bits. I like the scenes in Spectre. Like the opening is quite cool. The helicopter, the plane crash, the car chase. The separate scenes I like. The overall plot is bollocks though.
Yeah, I know. Even that opening bit in Spectre, I feel like we've seen quite a lot of it before. Like Bond, having a scrap in a helicopter. And all that kind of stuff. And the problem is like I saw the last Mission Impossible at the cinema, and I thought this is what the Bond movie should be doing.
I've only just got into Mission Impossible because I remember watching the first 2 films and thinking, oh right, and then suddenly everyone's like, oh by the way, they got really good after the third one. I was like, oh shit. So I watched.
Okay, fine.
Is it Ghost Protocol where he runs down the building?
Yeah, in Dubai, yeah. And then there's all that. That's really neat. And like the Halo jump and stuff in the last one is really cool. It's just
I need to watch the rest of them. What's my favourite new episode of New Who excluding season 11? Fuck. I really like Flatline, but I rewatched it recently, and all the Clara stuff forced didn't really put it off for me quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean, she's such a she's such a drag for that series, mainly because what she turns into. Like, I saw a scene on YouTube. I was recommended a clip on YouTube from the series 8 finale, which is the conversation they have where they're going, you betrayed me. Why would you help me? And the Doctor's doing do you really think I think that little of you, that betraying me would make a difference in how I feel, and like that I'd still help you, which I think is really a really cool moment, but. Given what Clara becomes and the effect she has on the series,
I just don't get with that episode them having Clara in the title sequence as before the Doctor. I don't get what they were trying to do there.
I think
that would have made more sense in Flatline.
Yeah, totally. And I think it's just like, oh look how clever we are. We're going to play with your. Oh look, everyone's going to start panicking because they think Clara is, it's just a promotional thing. And like, okay, fine, it's cool for that one episode, like. With
who? With I just got one of the character cards. I have no idea who the fuck it is.
Oh,
Sir Looming story. Yeah,
that's it. Yeah.
Oh, and here's the Doctor scarf. Again, this is where I wish I had Matt here, because he could be able to tell if this is an accurate pattern or not.
I know.
I haven't got a fucking clue.
It looks pretty good.
It looks more spot on than the 50 quid one you could get.
I know. I've got the season 18 one, which is really, really cool.
That looks nice.
It's really nice. Yeah.
Best and worst Bond films. Worst to me is Quantum, because it's just boring. Best Spy Love Me.
Yeah, the Spy Love Me is really cool. I think it's just because I've seen it so many times that I'm kind of like my favorite Bond film is either You Only Live Twice or I really like Tomorrow Never Dies as well. But I just feel like
I don't like You Only Live Twice. I think apart from the last sort of 40 minutes, it's kind of boring.
I think it's nice to see like Japan, like to see that part of the world in that time.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate.
All the stuff in like the sumo wrestling thing is really cool.
It feels more like a sort of touristy thing than
it's actually quite respectful considering what happens
respectful.
later.
Yeah, I was gonna say respectful considering it's got the whole Sean Connery in.
Apart from that bit where everything goes a little bit, like everything else is treated quite his relationship with Tanaka is really nice and. I like that film mainly because I probably saw it a lot when I was a kid.
My sort of taste in Bond's changed quite a bit. For a long time, I was trying to be all edgy and I only like Bond when it's accurate. I only like Timothy Dalton and Craig. Yeah. Now I'm just like I really like Roger Moore films. So I just like
I've done exactly the same thing. Like I've just gone.
You've got to embrace it.
Totally. I'm just going to admit the fact that I just love Pierce Brosnan as James Bond.
I think. The problem with Brosnan is I find in GoldenEye his performance is shit. After every line he does this.
Yeah. It's not amazing, but I think that he's maybe he's trying to play it slightly too straight in that film.
I think he's trying to play it too much like what's the character? Remington and Steele, isn't it?
Remington Steele, yeah.
He's trying to play it too much like that, which is what people are expecting. Whereas I think he only gets sort of good half of Tomorrow Never Dies and World's Not Enough onwards.
Yeah, World's Not Enough's really cool, and like he's clearly having a bit more fun with it. Like I'm sure doing GoldenEye was awesome, but he's clearly kind of letting himself go and kind of drawing on the Connery and the Moore.
I think GoldenEye's a good film, but I do prefer Tomorrow myself.
Yeah, I think again it's that same thing where I've just seen GoldenEye so many times, and like nothing surprises me anymore. But Tomorrow Never Dies, like Jonathan Pryce.
He's great in that.
He's really cool.
One of my biggest problems with GoldenEye is the car. They seem to set up the car, all the gadgets, all that, and then it's in one extra scene, and then just Jack Wade takes it away.
I wonder if
it does feel like there's a cut or something.
Or if like they were going to use it when they got to the radar station. Yeah. And like if Wade was going to turn up with the car at the end and hit the even blowing up like Onatop's like helicopter.
That would have been perfect for that.
But then we would have lost. She always did like a good squeeze. We would have lost that whole bit, which was.
Oh, I think I've just left it so long. I think the Doctor's just died.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, I think at one point if I can get hold, because there's no Bond games on Steam at the moment, but I think if I could play some Bond games, I'd see about getting Calvin Dyson in. Do you know Calvin?
That'd be ace.
I love because Calvin's a subscriber, so he's.
Oh,
I don't even know why, because I don't think he's a Bond fan, but. I don't think he's a Doctor Who fan. He's obviously a fucking Bond fan.
I'm sure I've seen some Q&As he's done, and someone's asked him, and he's just like, nah, not really that into it, which is cool. But like, I think that I think getting him in to do like I think Nightfire's his favorite. Like,
same here. I fucking love Nightfire.
Nightfire's awesome.
Mind you, one of my favorites was you probably haven't played it. 007 Racing on the PS1.
No, I never played that.
It's fucking great. It's basically just a load of missions where it's basically just in different Bond cars and all this sort of stuff. But there's a multiplayer deathmatch, and you had to race about getting all the missiles, getting the machine guns, the bulletproof shields, and all this stuff. And there's a cheat code to unlock the Aston from Living Daylight, which is coming back in the new film.
That's so neat. Oh yeah, that car is gorgeous.
That's my favourite one. I've got a toy of it somewhere.
I love the one that looks a bit like it from On Her Majesty's is my favourite. But obviously it's not got any gadgets in it
No.
apart from the stuff in the glove compartment.
Oh shit! Has maybe just picked up the laser screwdriver?
Oh yeah.
I forgot that was a plot point.
That's yeah. It's I loved that toy. That toy was really cool.
Yeah, because it'd probably snap up. That was really.
Yeah. It was really. Yeah, it was brilliant.
What's your favourite episode of Always Sunny? Do you watch Always Sunny?
Oh yeah. Mine is probably the water park episode.
Oh, I love that one. I want to say Dayman, but Nightman Cometh, but it's a bit too much of a cliche to choose.
I think that's the thing. Like you know, when you're so into something like your Golden Eyes or your whatevers, I think it becomes such an integral part of your viewing experience that.
Oh, not these fucking puzzles again!
Brilliant. Oh, they're glorious. I was going to say as well, like, so in my line of work, I have to speak to loads of different types of people, and through like casting people and stuff. And one of the guys I spoke to last year, who I don't think actually ended up getting onto the show, but he definitely went to an audition. He was one of the developers at Rockstar.
Oh shit!
Up in Scotland. And so I was like, I called him up and said, "So you work for a big video game company?" And he was like, "Yeah, I work for the big one. We're doing, lots of open world stuff." And I was like, "You work at Rockstar, don't you?" He was like, and it was around the time, I don't think Red Dead had been announced at that point, or at least anything that they were working on with it was just, it's coming out on this date. Yeah, they must have announced it at that point. Coming out on this date, and X, Y, and Z is happening with it. And he was a really lovely bloke. And I said, "Oh, what happened to that Agent game that got cancelled that you guys were working on, which I think was supposed to be some kind of like 70s, 60s espionage?"
I've not heard of this.
Yeah, so it was supposed to be basically a Bond-ish espionage open world video game, and it was going to be set during the Cold War, and they had some concept art that came out for it, and nothing ever happened with the game. And I said, "So what happened to that?" And he said, "Oh, it just kind of filtered out." And we stopped talking about whatever we were supposed to be talking. Like, my job completely fell by the wayside because I just wanted to find out what happened with it. And I said, "Oh, I'd absolutely love it if Rockstar got the license to do the Bond games. That'd be really cool." And he said, "Well, I mean, we have a lot of licenses on the table at the moment, so that's definitely one we've talked about." I was
That's
like,
cool.
"Oh,
What the fuck am I doing here?
I don't know. Just pressing things. This is just about as useful as that bit in the Doctor Who experience where you just have to press.
Oh god, I never went to the fucking Wales one. I'm so annoyed.
I mean, it's basically exactly the same thing. Like, even when Capaldi took over, they changed some of the rooms, but the Matt Smith console room stayed exactly as it was.
Yeah, I only went to the London one. I just wish I could have seen Bessie.
Oh man, it was so cool. Like, we saw some at the event yesterday. We saw some really cool behind the scenes, or like not behind the scenes, but exclusive content from the Blu-ray that's coming out. Because Chris Chapman was there and he was showing some of the documentaries that are going to be
what Blu-ray this season?
Season 10.
Season 10, yeah.
And some stuff from season 23, but don't tell anyone. And it was really, really cool. And one of the things he told us was, sadly, the original Bessie, she isn't roadworthy anymore. They can't be taken out on the road.
I would have been surprised if she was.
Exactly. Yeah. So she's in Bewley at the moment at the car museum there, but they had the James Bond in Motion event when it first opened.
Right.
And so she's kind of mothballed, and she's not roadworthy, which is really sad. So the one that is at the experiences and does the museum tours and is maintained to be on screen is a replica of Bessie.
Isn't that I think that was the one that was used in the Projection Room fan film, wasn't it?
Yeah. Like, so it's the one. I've forgotten the name of the guy who maintains it, but they mentioned his name at the event. Yeah. And I've completely forgotten his name.
My objective at the moment is to find out what's going on. I haven't got a fucking clue.
Oh bless! This game is mental. So yeah, like it was really cool to like see some of the stuff from it. But the replica they've got has even got the hand signal stuff on it. That's cool. And everything on it is as it should be. But it's the original Bessie sadly isn't roadworthy. But I'd love it if at some point they could find the Whomobile.
I think they did, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. But like, I don't know where. I don't know if people know where it is now.
So I think it in fact got discovered a few years ago because it was at a hovercraft auction or something like that.
Yeah, it popped up on my feed a couple of days ago, and it
Same
was like,
here.
oh yeah, I remember when they found it.
That's
it
like, popped up on my fucking this time a few years ago thing.
Yeah, exactly. And it was I'm really glad that it's out there. But if they could get that for the the season 11 Blu-ray, that would be really cool. If they could talk about it on there, that'd be really neat. Because John used to John lived in I can't remember. I want to say Chiswick, but I'm not sure if that's where he lives. So he could drive to the studio in the morning, television centre, and he used to drive in through the front gate in the Humobile.
That's cool.
Oh, how awesome is that?
It wasn't season 10 they extended the fun out. That was during the 5 Doctors, because when the lightning bolt hits and blows it up, that's when they put the chunky thing on, which I think looks kind of shit.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm guessing it's the same one that's also in Battlefield.
I think it's all been the same car for the original run.
Because I had to watch Battlefield for the talk yesterday.
And Battlefield's great though.
I enjoyed it way more than I thought I would.
I've always loved
it. I've always been put off watching it by going, oh, I've got to listen to that bloody Kef soundtrack.
Fuck off.
I hate
I love Kef.
No, I love Kef. I love the soundtrack.
I will say Battlefield's probably one of his weaker ones.
Yeah. I love Remembrance. I love Nemesis. I love Survival. But like that music for Battlefield, I can't. I hate it.
Yeah,
I absolutely hate
I'm just trying to catch up on questions. Favorite Tennant episode? Midnight, by far. I fucking love Midnight.
Yeah, that. I like The Waters of Mars.
Oh yeah, Waters of Mars is quite good as well.
That's probably my favorite.
And which is the best soundtrack? Living Daylights or View to a Kill? I don't know. They're both really fucking good. That's hard.
I'm trying to think of like certain moment. Like I can remember more of the stuff from the Living Daylights.
Yeah, but then again, View to a Kill has got He's Dangerous, which is like probably the best bit of Bond music ever.
That's ace. I love in Octopussy. I forgot. Is it called not the bomb chase theme? The one when they're attacking the Indian palace.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
John Barry is always good for any. Even though some of his more soundtracks could be a bit samey, he's always still great no matter what he did.
And I like obviously David Arnold's awesome.
Oh yeah, I love David Arnold. I quite like the new guy. I can't remember his name, but the problem is in Spectre there's a lot of reused tracks from Skyfall.
Yeah, it's literally like the music they use in the helicopter chase at the start.
It's exactly the same as Yeah,
I don't mind that because obviously in the early days they do those really long extended sequences where Sean is just walking around a hotel room listening, and the Bond theme is playing.
Yeah, I think that's before they got used to the idea of having the Bond theme be for action scenes.
Yeah, or like having the like I forgot the name of the track. Bond Bond is Back?
Yeah,
like that plays quite a lot. That's like his action theme. That's the one. Yeah, I love that, and I love the fact that David Arnold would have like a theme or a motif that he would use through the film. So like in The World Is Not Enough, there's one in there that's really cool.
I do really like David Arnold's use of the Bond theme because he would proper throw out in the good action scenes. One of my favourites is the bit in World Is Not Enough where Bond uses the crowbar to swing across the caviar factory. That's
ace, and the White Knight's really cool as well.
Oh yeah.
I thought that was going to be like the new Bond is Back.
Yeah,
that was used for the films.
I wish they would.
I'd love the idea if David Arnold came back that he'd call back to all those original.
Yeah, as a magician just pointed out though, David Arnold's Doctor Who theme's really fucking good.
Yeah, so I heard something really really funny.
What?
Which was so basically David Arnold was commissioned to do the theme tune. And he was obviously working on different stuff in between. So he put together whatever they ended up using, sent the stems to Nick Briggs, who then arranged it and put it together.
Right.
And then it came out on the release, and David Arnold contacted Big Finish and said, it wasn't finished. Why did you put it out like that?
Oh.
So the Eighth Doctor David Arnold Big Finish theme is completely unfinished, and it wasn't supposed to sound like that.
Oh shit! So, I really want to hear what it looks like. I really want to hear what it would be like if it was finished then.
I almost feel like he's used a lot of like electronic samples, and that maybe he could have made it sound more orchestral.
No, maybe not then.
Oh, my girlfriend's watching. Yeah, James Bond meets Doctor Who banter, 10 out of 10 there, babe. Cheers, love.
Hey.
Yeah, she's never seen an episode of Doctor Who properly before, and I took some notes down when we were watching. You
need to do what Matt was doing with Cat then, and just.
I know. Like, we've watched the first 2 parts of Earthshock and the first 2 parts of Curse of Fenric, just for when I was making notes for the event, and I read some of her notes out, and out of context, they're hilarious.
Oh my God.
The Russian soldiers at the start, she was like, they're like Russian soldiers, English actors doing Russian accents, trying to speak English, and it does sound really weird when you like put it down to that level.
I think that's enough to read about the facts of time.
Yeah.
Some of these I can get this like references, but just facts about time, or that original one where we had like the history of the London taxi while you're trying to avoid Daleks.
Okay, so you've got the Sycorax staff next to something that will educate you. It's either go the whole hog and just make it a Doctor Who fan fest, or educate us in some way.
Oh, that's Captain Jack's Sonic Blaster, cricket ball, the history of cricket. No, thankfully not. I was talking with Trilby on Twitter last night for a little bit about the sort of the story arc of the Fifth Doctor. Which I hadn't really thought about before, but actually really is quite a good overall arc from this sort of really naive, trying to do the best he can Doctor who keeps having all this shit thrown at him constantly.
Yeah.
Which results in him nearly shooting someone in the wheelchair to death, and then, but then sort of sacrificing himself. But I think it works because it's rare for a Doctor to have an arc.
Where it doesn't feel forced. Like by the time he gets to 7B, it's like, okay, like. His Doctor will always be seen as the kind of ruffled hair, confused, bewildered young kid who's in an old man's body, which sounds off.
Yeah.
But then he's also got this, they play it off better with Matt Smith's Doctor doing the dark thing than they did with Tennant's Doctor, where he was just this obnoxious, loud, shouty, entitled brat.
Yeah, basically. Smith basically there's a lot of Tennant in Smith, but Smith refined it much better. I'm not like when I say Tennant, I do think Tennant's a good actor. Like, I've not seen it, but I've seen clips of him and Jessica Jones, and he's really good. I've heard he's good in Omens. He's a good actor. He's just, I didn't like him in Doctor Who.
Same. Like, yeah, I can't take anything away from the guy. He's stellar in almost everything he's in, but I think, and he's good as the Doctor, but it depends what Doctor you're getting. I
thought he was really good in Day of the Doctor. I thought he was really good.
Yeah, I guess because in that he's kind of caricaturing himself up a little bit,
What's your fucking hell? What's your favourite episode of Torchwood?
Oh.
I'm gonna say this. It's not a thing about the question, but don't say Children of Earth. We've got to stick to the original first 2 series.
Okay.
What am I doing here? What the...
What's the one? Is it called Meat?
Yes, I know what you mean. I can't think of the name off the top of my head though.
Yeah, that one. I like that one. That's cool. And also the one where, is it either Owen's first day being immortal?
Yeah, I can't remember what it's called, but I know what you mean.
Cool.
The one with
Richard
Richard
goes
Dwyer's.
to a bar and wrecks himself. Yeah, that's really cool. That's really good. I like that one.
Oh, not this fucking puzzle again. Oh. What? Yeah, this is an interesting one. What would you like to see in Series 12? I think we have answered this question before, but you've not put up the interview yet.
Yeah,
oh fuck,
God, mate. Oh, mate. Yeah, like that. I've just been. It's been sat on my hard drive for ages.
To be fair, considering a lot of things we talk about, we don't give a shit about anymore.
True, or we know everything that's kind of we've spoken about besides Series 12. I mean, Matt and I were talking about this yesterday, and we talked about it in other videos. Like, we'd really like to see more monsters, I guess, is one of the big ones.
I'm not that fussed about having new monsters. I mean, so not even new monsters, reoccurring monsters.
Yeah, no, I'm not fussed about that either. But like, I like the fact that a lot of Doctor Who comes down to, if a kid went to school the next day, what would they draw from the episode? And I can't think, besides like the Pating and the robots from Kablam, like, I've forgotten the name of the villains from the Witchfinders, but like they were proper cut and paste, like just evil monsters, and that's okay. That's like serviceable, but I'd want something, something that's got a hook, something that's got a gimmick to it that you can get your teeth into.
Yeah,
like the Weeping Angels are a perfect example. They're so like statues, so like omnipotent, like in our day-to-day lives.
Sorry.
Call me off guard. I can't see what you're doing. So
yeah, you'll get it in a sec.
Yeah, I've got it. There we are. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think what we'll get is more of the same. In terms of its like general vibe and general ethos, and that's cool. I don't know. Like, what is it you really want to see?
I'd like to see stronger villains mainly. Because they were that's probably the weakest thing in season. Give Jodie a bit more to do. Yeah. I think sort of not in terms of actual like action and that, but I mean sort of heavier stuff to act. If you know what I mean. There wasn't.
I think I love
please
all the stuff she does.
Please don't make me do both of them again. Oh fuck you.
I love the fact that she's like really obsessed with like science and stuff. I love all that.
Oh god, the Doctor's actually doing science again for the first. I know the science video was overused as fuck, but there were moments where she actually had to do like chemistry and shit like that.
Yeah,
or there'd be like
really nice.
Or the antimatter bit.
The antimatter scene got shared on Twitter again recently. I was like, it's so cool. It's such a nice scene because you like the thing you lose with a lot of Doctors is that passion for science. You forget that they're actually a scientist and they are the cleverest person in the room. You lose a lot of that through the Doctor being self-deprecating, or the Doctor, hot dogging and grandstanding over how brilliant they are. And it's like, well, they are actually, the Doctor's really clever.
Yeah.
Even like with McCoy doing stuff like signing the signatures in Curse of Fenric with two hands.
Yeah, that's like little details like that I love.
Yeah,
send the tachyon. What the fuck am I doing? This is a good place for the tachyon feed, but is that it? Alright, okay. Yeah, favourite series of New Who in general, excluding Series 11. Because, yeah, I don't think I'd put Series 11 up there. I think Series 11's very middle of the road.
Yeah, yeah. But then it is, that they are setting their stall out in a way for everything that's going to come afterwards, hopefully.
Yeah, I can see it being very similar to, like I've said this before, season 24, where you can see like what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
An oscillator device. Have I got to go back? I remember this now. You got to keep going back and forth between here and that fucking study.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to run back and forth and get bits and bobs and shit. Yeah. I really like Series 5 and Series 1.
I think Series 5 and 1 are probably the strongest overall.
Yeah, I love Series 3, and I also do have a soft spot for Series 10 as well.
I've not seen Series 10. I keep putting it off.
I'd give it a go because it's one of the series that I've turned to people and I've said, look, okay, so Capaldi didn't catch a lot of people's imaginations, but I think they really did nail him in Series 10, and I really like Bill as well, and Nardol's pretty inoffensive. And
from what I've seen of Nardol, he does get, one of the big things that put me off watching Series 10 was, oh fuck, they got Matt Lucas in this, but from what I've seen, he was actually alright in it.
Yeah, he's actually used really well. Like, he's not in every episode in like the capacity that you would get annoyed like by him in. I really like him. I think Matt Lucas is great, and I think that he was used better in Series 10 than arguably the character had any right to be used.
What is the oscillator? I keep saying use the oscillator. I don't know what the fuck I'm looking for. Empress of Mars is one of the only episodes of that series I watched because I was just in the mood for Ice Warriors, and it was all right.
Yeah, it's fine.
The Alpha Centauri cameo was a bit fucking gratuitous, though.
Oh, I loved it. I was so.
I mean, I know you did, you fucking Peloton slut. But
I love Alpha, and I love the fact that any little reference like that, it doesn't need to be this like world-bending, universe-shaping moment like with Clara basically informing the Doctor's life.
Yeah.
Like little things like that are perfect,
I don't know what I'm doing.
As long as the audience aren't watching it going, who's this? I don't understand what's going on.
That's enough. One of the things, use the radio on the panel on the left.
I wish I could help you because I'm like, you know, I'm like lagging by at least like 5 to 10 seconds.
Right, there's different panels. I'm just gonna wander around until I find the right one. Ah, there we go. Fuck me.
Oh yeah, next to the gramophone. Yeah.
I don't even know what I'm doing with this. Okay. Oh. Okay. I hate these sort of puzzles.
It just kind of, you know, let's try and do a puzzle. Let's try and do something that requires as little, you know, effort to like as possible in terms of gameplay.
Yeah. It's like the same hacking minigame that every single game ever has, or the same lock-picking minigame that every game has.
Yeah, totally.
Come on.
And now I'm really concentrating watching you do it now.
Oh, come on. Again, though, like I said, the only decent Doctor Who game I think is the Fallout New Vegas mod.
That's really cool.
Have you played it yet?
Neat. I haven't. No, I like modding and stuff is just out of my realm.
Honestly, it's a piece of piss to install.
Okay, cool.
It's worth it. It's hard. There's quite a sort of a steep learning curve to it, but when you get into it, you fucking get into it.
Cool. I just want any Doctor Who video game that allows me to kind of do my own thing as like the Doctor.
I had probably a regeneration in that game which probably rivals the series.
Right, okay.
Because you get like space battles and that where you have like Daleks attacking the TARDIS, you have to fly around doing all these levers and that. I was running out of power, so what I had to do was I had to open the Eye of Harmony to boost the power. The problem is there's a chance of the TARDIS going overloading basically, and you have to jettison the core. So I basically powered up the TARDIS, opened up the Eye of Harmony, defeated the Daleks, one teleported aboard, so I went after it, killed it, it blew up, crippled my legs, and then the cloister bell started going off.
Cool.
So the problem is, I had to get to the console room as fast as possible to jettison the core and save the TARDIS, but because my legs were crippled, I couldn't run fast enough.
Oh, wow.
And in normal Fallout games, you just use a stim pack on your legs, right?
Yeah.
You can't, because it's human medicine.
Cool.
And it would kill you.
That's awesome.
So what I had to do was I had to stim pack my legs, and then dying, run to the console room, jettison the Eye of Harmony, land the TARDIS, and I got out just as I started to regenerate.
Can you like choose your own interior?
Yeah, there's the Key to Time console room.
Yeah.
The 5 Doctors. TV movie.
Oh, lush.
Her. Tennant, Smith, and Smith 2, and you can customize it to the Capaldi, and the Varney's TARDIS as well. Oh
wow, cool. So which one were you using when you had your epic little moment?
That one I was in the Key to Time console room.
Cool.
I regenerated into this horrible mess which I had to edit in the editor because the randomness of the regenerations comes out really fucking ugly.
Right. Okay. Cool.
Companion home and end up dropping off in a place. Oh yeah, the companion system in Fallout New Vegas is kind of the New Vegas is alright. Who Vegas is kind of crap.
Right.
But yeah, the what was I talking about? Oh yeah, the console rooms. Yeah.
Yeah, console.
Yeah, I was using the Key to Time one. I used the Megan. The problem is they're not all accurate. There's quite a few new controls been put in certain places on like the Megan and that for the extra stuff. It still looks alright. The Tennant ones actually I use quite a bit, even though I don't like the actual console. In game, it's really nice, and to repair it, you actually have to pull a lever, open up the floor up, and clamber into the bottom to fix it.
Awesome!
Because the repairs, because the basic of the game is it's just flying it about and that. But when you have the advanced mode on, you actually have to fix components. If you drop a thermocouple, you get the TARDIS land inside itself and stuff like that.
Right.
Because one time I went off to do one of the DLCs, and stupidly I didn't turn on the automatic thermo buffer. Which happens when you do that. Sometimes you have to, like, when you're flying, you'll say, "Oh, it's getting warm in here." You have to vent the thermo buffers. So I came back and my TARDIS had basically every component had failed.
Oh, crikey.
So I had to go in there in life support and slowly but surely repair.
It's episodic then, is it?
Well, there's different quests. Like I said, you can play the main game, but there's also quests made specifically for Who Vegas.
Right.
So one of them is it's a murder mystery.
Right.
Where you end up in you land like a Victorian manor. You have a butler there talking you through, and one of the killer's an Auton.
I've seen that bit.
That's really cool.
Oh, sick. I like the fact they did like historicals as well.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
What else is there? There's a brilliant one where you land in like an abandoned 80s motel,
Yeah.
And you're walking around, and all of a sudden, like, the lights flicker, and there's a fucking weeping angel right in front of you.
Oh,
And then you have to run through the motel to get back to your TARDIS. But if you get caught, you get hurtled back to 1980s, and then you have to live out your life, and then regenerate at the end from old age.
Shit.
Yeah.
So how long does that unfold for once you've been sent back?
Oh no, it's only a tiny little bit, but it says you wait so many years and then you just regenerate. It's not that deep.
Okay.
What other ones are there? There's one where you go on Scarro's fucking nuts in that game. It's
Cool.
so heavily irradiated, and there's a mod you can get. It's a mod for the mod. For like New Vegas, it's a mod for like New Vegas, which is fucking fantastic. But yeah, there's a mod for it. We can get the Dalek Asylum, so you have like classic Daleks about there. You have a special weapons Dalek. But Scarro itself is hella radioactive. You have to get all the different components to rescue a ship which has crash land on Scarro.
Sick.
The Daleks are nuts, because one thing I do like, they've actually got someone to record Dalek voice lines, who's not that good at it.
Right.
But it brings that whole sort of classic fan film thing back to it for me.
Yeah. Like it does feel like homemade, and that's quite sweet.
Yeah. And they've actually done quite a good job with the extermination effect, because if your companion gets shot, they do have the X-ray effect.
Beautiful.
I don't know how. I think they just did the standard skeleton model, but I've got to do like a little quiz here. Okay, let's get the chat involved. Right, answer this question for me.
Okay.
If any of you guys get this wrong, I'm gonna be fucking pissed off.
It's definitely the Third Doctor. Everybody, we all know it. We all know the answer. This one. We were thinking for if we were going to do a second show with We Are Cult, or off our own back or whatever, we were gonna do like a live showing and screening of a fan like one of the BBV films.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Talk over it and pause it and laugh about it and stuff. So the one we were thinking of doing, which obviously would have to be 18+ admittance, would be
Zygon.
Would be
fuck.
Amazing.
I wish I could have come. It's just I didn't have the money to get down there. And
yeah.
Problem is,
cool.
Because I've been slightly scarred off by YouTube Doctor Who conventions, because I went to the Trinity convention in 2008.
Oh
and
my
for
God.
anyone who doesn't know, Trinity Convention was Tony Coburn's fan film production company.
Yeah.
I'm not going to mention any of the stuff that's come to light, because I'm not sure if I'll get sued for that. But that thing was just cringe.
I feel like everybody knows about.
Yeah, but I still better not say it out loud.
Yeah, true.
But it was.
I actually did meet him at a convention as well.
I've met him a couple of times, and
he was like he was signing and stuff. It was like
yeah, like, so why is he signing? What was his only job? He was Draco Malfoy in a cutscene from Harry Potter, which never aired anywhere.
Yep.
But yeah, it was like I said. I only went there because there's a few of my friends who were participating, and I've got to meet a few people up there. I met Chris Thompson up there first time. A few other people, Matt Chambers and that. That's the only reason I went. But it was so self-pandering for him. It was like, fuck off.
Yeah.
His shitty police box was there, and it's like, ugh. Like, I think everyone's agreed it's the second Doctor.
Yeah,
so.
I think we know this one. Yeah.
Who tried to save Gallifrey in the Time War? I mean,
well,
technically, Vasselin even was trying to fucking kill Efferton, so it's not really.
Yeah.
I like the Brucer reference. I don't want to click Brucer because I don't know what's going to happen.
I feel like there's definitely fans working on this game.
Yeah.
I wonder if any of these questions have now been like retconned or kind of, are none.
Yeah. At this point. It's Villain Guard, isn't it? On Sonic Blast was made on Villain Guard 1, because that's from Empty Child.
Yeah, I'm literally just getting these.
Oh yeah, because the TARDIS also lands there in fucking the worst episode of all time.
Yes, it does. Yep.
Let's not. I fucking every stream I fucking talked about Twice Upon a Time. I need to let it go.
I know. I see. I Twice Upon a Time has got massive issues with it, but I enjoyed watching it more than I enjoyed watching Hellbent. That thing nearly finished me.
I think I'd take Hellbent over. Would I? I don't know.
Yeah.
Everyone, what would you take? What do you prefer to watch, Hellbent or Twice Upon a Time?
I think people are going to say Hellbent because of the Gallifrey thing.
Yeah.
And because it doesn't destroy a character. Well, it kind of does, considering the Doctor shoots one of his own kind in cold blood.
That never really bothered me, to be fair.
That really annoyed me. Oh, but to be honest, like, it can be dealt with, but the Doctor being violent and the Doctor killing can be dealt with really well. Like, I've just finished listening to Master.
Yeah.
And I hope this isn't a spoiler because the thing has been out for, you know, God knows how many
I've
years.
I've not had a chance to listen to it, but I don't give a shit. I've probably read the Wikipedia page 20 times now, so it's
okay. So if people don't want to know, then just like mute it for a sec or whatever. But basically, it's revealed that one of the defining moments in the Doctor and the Master's upbringing was the Master was being drowned by a bully on Gallifrey. Obviously the Doctor and the Master were like good pals, and the Doctor murdered the kid when they were kids, and he hit him over the head with a rock and killed him, and they burnt the body, and that kind of sealed
isn't this the whole time and Death's champion thing?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and he's kind of like Death is saying in the episode, at that point either the Doctor or the Master could have become the Master and taken that, you know, that route, but the Doctor's got massive guilt because he knows really he should have been the Master, because he's been going on about it for the whole episode that it was the Master that did that killed this kid, and yeah, it's excellent. So in that regard, it is done pretty well. In Master, it's handled really effectively because the Doctor's got a massive guilt complex over it, but in Hellbent, you know, just blasting the General like that.
Yeah.
just for Moffat to go, oh look, we've seen it on screen now that male Time Lords can regenerate into female Time Lords.
Yeah, that's look, I know people go on about Series 11 being so political and that. Problem was Moffat was trying to do that, but he did it so fucking ham-fistedly most of the time.
And it was a big kind of pat on the back thing.
It was him wanking himself off.
Yeah, totally.
I think the main reason I take Hellbent is just because at least that console is meant to be a different TARDIS, whereas the one in Twice Upon a Time doesn't look like the first Doctor's TARDIS, and yet it's meant to be.
Exactly, and that whole thing was just fan baiting.
I get them not wanting to have the shitty photographic blow-ups. They could have just replaced them with other roundels and not used the weird hexagon ones from Day of the Doctor. I don't.
Right. Yeah.
That bugs me.
That would have been nice, but you know, like Adventure in Space.
Oh shit! I actually think I need help on this one. What was the move from the Ood to make them slaves? Hindbrain, forebrain, midbrain? Don't know.
Oh my!
I can't remember. Shit.
Hindbrain sounds like the odd one out of that lot.
Hindbrain. Chats. If I have to do this all over again, I'm stopping the stream.
It's Hindbrain. Okay.
Yeah, it's Hindbrain.
Yeah.
Who's Joan Redford's great granddaughter?
Hang on, it's gonna come up for me in a sec.
Wasn't she called Joan Redford too? No, it was Verity Newman, wasn't it? Is it Verity Newman or Joan Redford?
Oh, I can't even remember where.
I think it's from End of Time when Tennant's going on his.
Oh yeah, it's
longest. Yeah, it's fucking world's longest regeneration.
Yeah.
Mind you, though, I don't know how long it took the third Doctor to regenerate because he said he got lost in the time vortex. So I don't know. Maybe radiation poisoning just takes fucking forever to kill a Time Lord.
Maybe. There's a whole like slew of sequences in most Doctor's regenerations where they could have technically had an adventure.
Yeah.
Or two,
I kind of wished that now since I've watched Chernobyl, I kind of wish the 10th Doctor regenerated more like actual radiation poisoning, so he's just basically melting by the end of it. I don't want to go.
Matt's told me about some of the stuff that happens in that series.
Have you watched it yet?
Not yet. No.
Now TV, you can get a 3-month trial on that.
I actually have Now TV, but
it's on there.
I've not
watch it. It's so good. It's so fucking good. Only downside is I now. You probably didn't watch EastEnders, but I now know what Trevor from EastEnders knobs look like. Looks like.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah,
excellent. That's good to know.
Yeah.
What does everybody think of Years and Years? Have you seen it yet?
I haven't seen it yet. I need to.
It is good.
I've heard it.
I like the fact that everybody's painting it as this really narcissistic, dark thing, and it's like I feel like Russell has written it where at any point the Doctor could come in and save the day, but he never turns up.
That's cool.
And it just becomes this awful situation. Like, it's obviously some of the stuff in it is quite ham-fisted, considering it's supposed to be a political commentary of what we're going through at the moment.
Yeah.
With all sorts, with Trump and Brexit and all that kind of stuff, and there's even some commentary on there about transgenderism and blah blah blah. So it's like it's pretty meaty, and there's a lot to enjoy in it, but it has got quite a narcissistic tone to it. Like everything is shit and it can't really be fixed because it's our fault that it's happened and blah blah blah.
I'm just terrible at like starting up new shows. People like think, oh, watch this, watch this. And it took me like it took me until the live episode of Inside Number 10 to watch Inside Number 9, sorry, to watch that.
Yeah, that is excellent.
I had people talk about it, and then I remember looking at Twitter, because I usually have TweetDeck open on a separate thing, and I just saw everyone tweeting about the twist in the live one. I thought, oh shit, maybe I should watch this.
I met Stephen Volk yesterday because he was at the event.
Oh sweet.
And he's really lovely. So I think it's the second time I've met him now, and I was just telling him how much Ghostwatch had an effect on, like, you know, the work that I did at university and blah blah blah.
Have you still got that short film you did up at university?
I don't think it's up on YouTube anymore, but I might have to put it up because there might be some projects coming up.
Do it, because I did like that.
Thank you, mate. I told him, I said, yeah, so I did this thing at uni and blah blah blah, and he said, oh yeah, no, I've watched that, and I was like, really? And he was like, yeah, because because I was talking to Rich Lorden about it, who did the Behind the Curtains documentary.
Yeah, I think I've got a DVD for that somewhere.
It's awesome. I love that documentary. And I was sort of sending stuff back and forth, and he was like, okay, so that's a really cool idea. You do know that Stephen has done a sequel to Ghostwatch, and it's basically exactly the same as what you've done. I was like,
is that
really?
The book? The online store? Yeah.
3110, yeah.
Yeah.
And I told him about it yesterday, and I was like, so if you have seen it, I promise that I did not. And I was so worried about it that I even put. I was going to put based on Ghostwatch at the end anyway, but I put based on Ghostwatch and 3110 by Stephen Volk, so that there was no weirdness there.
Did you talk to Stephen Volk about Inside Number 9 then? The live one?
Didn't know. I probably should have done though.
Yeah, I'd have been interested to see what he'd have thought about it. Because I love Ghostwatch, but I think the Inside Number 1's probably a bit better executed.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of that is just down to the product of its time that Ghostwatch was made in, and the fact that it's using like known faces for it, you know.
I think the biggest problem with Ghostwatch, even though I like it, there's such a big build-up, which helps for it, but it can be a bit of a slog to get through the opening parts.
Yeah, like if you've shown it to somebody, I've shown it to friends of mine who have taken a lot away from it. Like I used to get messages from friends who'd watched it saying, there's a cat fight happening outside, I hate you because now
I'm the same. Every time I fucking hear that now, I'm like, no.
Yeah, exactly. And like, you know, my friends have got like long curtains in their room, and they're just like really freaked out. And I love that. You know, it's cool that I've been able to pass that on. And I told Stephen that was the effect he was having on my friends, was to give them nightmares.
For fuck's sake! I got to start from the beginning.
Oh my god.
Oh no, because I thought that was a Pompeii reference, not a fucking.
In universe, is Amy looking at this going, what is what like, you know, what is going on?
Look, she's got TARDIS Wikia on her
phone, and she's like, yeah, well, I mean, the new adventures do kind of contradict that.
Oh,
awesome.
Shit. Oh, I've got to go through this again. Yeah, if you can't tell, me and Billy are both massive fans of Ghostwatch. Yeah,
massive. I've got a Ghostwatch T-shirt and all.
Have you?
Like, I got it from Redbubble. Somebody put it on Redbubble.
Oh, cool.
There's a really, really cool episode of Inside Number 9. I don't know. Have you watched all of them at this point, Sam? So
several times.
The Christmas one.
Oh, I fucking love that one.
The ending of that legit shit me up.
That's such a fucking.
I was thinking about that all night, and it was so horrible. You know, and like how everything is just nonchalantly going on while this is like unfolding. It was really, really nasty, but in a brilliant twist. Really, really good.
It took me ages to work out who the director was, and it was, oh shit, that's Jacoby.
Yeah,
but yeah, they did such a good job of replicating that style of shitty.
Because you know they're massive nerds as well.
Yeah,
so like they want to get it bang on too. You know.
But that was that bit where it sort of gets suddenly oh fuck. Yeah, I know a lot of people complained about that because they actually thought, oh god, that's a bit too dark. But I loved it.
I loved it. I loved it. I thought it like the fact that I was thinking about it. Like,
yeah, Devil Christmas.
Afterwards, and I was like, whoa, that was really, really horrible. And I'm glad that I'm like stuck with having seen it. You know, like it's brilliant.
Oh shit! I've just seen in the chat. Apparently, it was Graham Harper who directed it.
Graham Harper.
Oh shit!
Cool.
That makes a lot of sense.
I guess it was perfect because he would have been like, yeah, this is you know, completely as it would have been. You know, like that's really neat. I like that.
I just love that line though. If only I got Gummidge.
Beautiful.
The new Gummidge looks terrifying. Let's be honest, though.
Yeah, like I when I first saw it, I had an immediately like terrified reaction to it. But I was looking at it afterwards and thought, actually, it will probably be pretty good.
Yeah, yeah.
Like for what it is, it's difficult to bugger up Wurzel Gummidge considering it's, you know, a kid show about a sentient like scarecrow. And I'm just interested to see how Mackenzie Crook's going to play it, like how close he'll play it. I don't think he'll do it. He's not going to do it like Gummidge. He's not going to do it like Pertwee at all. No, like I think he'll just have like a West Country accent, and it'll be a bit dim, and that's it. Like he's not going to be doing the. He'll probably do the Worsley's bit, but he's not going to be doing it as like a direct reference to
I hope we get the Blu-rays of the originals, because they found all the film reels recently, didn't they?
They did, yeah. Like the I follow the Wurzel Gummidge account on Twitter.
Same.
And like every now and again they'll post like, this is what it could look like with color correction. Please, somebody re-release it, because like
the VHS releases and the DVD releases are terrible.
Yeah, they're like they're so washed out, and like they've clearly just done it as a, you know, well, I wouldn't even say a cash grab, because
it's what they had at the time. That's the only problem, because it was all off-air recordings, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Hang on, my webcam's not focusing. Is that bad? Yeah, it's bad.
I'm glad that they're at least talking about doing it again.
Yeah.
Like,
I think they're going to do it, like I said, for the one of the anniversaries or Pertwee's birthday.
Pertwee's birthday, and like even once the new one comes out at Christmas. Yeah. Like they'll probably are those sperm floating around.
You think so? Yeah.
Yeah, I think as soon as they put it out at Christmas, there'll be a call to see the old Gummidge, and then people will go, "Oh my god, this is in terrible quality." So they'll probably spruce it up for that.
Fingers crossed. I'd love to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Going back to Inside Number 9. What's your favourite episode?
Probably Devil of Christmas. I really like, obviously the two-hander or the three-hander with the guys breaking in. The first episode really good. And
problem is that episode's been ruined for me though, because obviously the first episode I saw was the live one, so I'm always expecting to see the ghost in the window.
It's that bit is so well done. Like I love the fact that people online were going, "Oh, I see what they're doing here," pretending that the signal's cut out and they're showing an old episode. But like, and when I was watching it the first time, I heard when the announcer was doing. Well, sorry about that, everybody. We seem to have lost the feed there. Yeah, exactly. That scared the shit out of me, Sam. Please don't do that.
The thing is, I rewatched.
I got fucking headphones on.
I rewatched it recently, and it was. I didn't realise you see the ghost twice in that first bit.
Yeah.
I only saw the big squares like that, but I didn't see it when it's in the very background the first time. I thought, no.
Yeah, like when they're up against the wall of the up against the window.
Again, it's like Ghostwatch, where you think you see pipes.
Yeah.
Like when they thought
I actually asked Stephen Volk when I saw Ghost.
Did you ask about the mirror? Did you ask about the mirror ghost?
No. Well, I did when I saw it with an audience at the Watershed in Bristol a couple of years ago, and it was really cool watching with an audience, because like even he said when you watch it with a group of friends, there is this kind of like hee titter, it's a bit crap, and then halfway through the entire room goes silent.
Yeah.
And they actually start going, shit, this is really horrible. And I asked him, I said, so obviously I've forgotten the name of the director, I've forgotten her name, Leslie Manning. But I was like, you know, she's said that there are other pipes in it. There might be as many as like
shit.
12 or whatever. And she's actually said that he is in it more, either stuff that was cut out or that is still in there.
Because there's 8 confirmed.
Yeah,
sightings,
so
aren't there?
One of the ones I always thought would be probable is when they test out the heat vision at the start when they're outside the house.
Yeah,
that he's most likely stood there.
That's the problem, because some of them are really good. Like the one when she picks up the kid's drawings and he's in the reflection. That's a really good one.
It's horrible because every time I go into the kitchen, it's dark now.
Yeah, or that bit where you just see him like when just as the glory hole door opens, you just see that tiny little bit of his face and it shuts. I missed that first time. But then there's that one where he's just standing in the background. That's a bit naff. It's good because you can't notice it's still
when Craig walked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's just sort of stood there like, all right,
how's everyone doing tonight? It's a bit chilly, isn't it? Yeah. Like I love all that stuff. Like it's so well made.
That's the sort of horror that always gets me. It's the stuff where you only just like in Exorcist, where you just see like I can't remember the demon name, but the demon's face just in the very
Pazuzu,
corner.
yeah.
Pazuzu, yeah. But you only just see sort of the bit of his face in the corner, and that. No.
Yeah, or like there's some bits of it that don't come across particularly well, like Pazuzu's face reflected in. I've forgotten where they are, but there's a bit at near the beginning where you see Pazuzu's face reflected in like a bit of steel or a bit of metal.
Oh shit!
I've never
noticed that before.
See, the thing is, like, I've seen so many listicles now where they go, here's all the bits where the Pazuzu are in or appears in, and it's like, well, yeah, so that bit is pretty.
Yeah, it has a sudden cut me, so it's like.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
Yeah.
It's grim.
Mind you, I still think the scariest bit in any Exorcist film is the bit in Exorcist 3 with the
in the
shuts the doors like. Fire!
Yeah.
Oh no, that gets me. Even though I know it's coming, it still makes me jump.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where when you direct something and when you put something together, you can like even when you watch it, you can kind of feel beats in it where it's kind of like, okay, so there's been like this bit's happened, quiet. Like when you watch most modern horror films, the biggest giveaway that something's going to happen is you get those lingering panning shots across the room where it's like, okay, something's going to happen, but you know that the payoff is that you're being misdirected to think that big, long,
it's the same
lingering shot.
It's always
going to have something in it.
It's always the same. It's like, for example, it'd be like there's a door here, and the person slowly pushes, music's building, they pull the curtain back, nothing there. Oh, and then they turn out, and then there's a jump scare.
And there's something there.
Yeah, it's the same in like every fucking film nowadays.
Matt and Kat have very graciously started to introduce me to horror. So we've watched like The Wicker Man and It and other bits and bobs. And one of the things they showed me was The Conjuring 2, which I was like, oh, it's a big Hollywood, horror. It'll probably be crap. But there's a couple of really, really good bits in that. Like there's a sequence where one of the priests who's exercising it's based on the Enfield poltergeist. It's based on the Enfield haunting, which is obviously subsequently based on the haunting from Ghostwatch. There's a really good bit where there's a dude in the priest or the exorcist, the investigator, is in the forefront of the frame, and in the background there's a girl sat in the chair, and she's basically said, if you want to talk to the ghost, the guy who's haunting the house, you have to turn around. And they're like, right, because she's obviously going to put a voice on or whatever. And when they turn around, he's in the foreground, and she's sat in a high back chair in the corner, in the all out of focus. And it's a brilliant bit where she, over the course of about 2 or 3 minutes, very subtly and very slowly starts to change into the ghost that is haunting the house.
That's cool.
And it's really beautifully done, because you only kind of realise halfway through, like, oh shit, she's not sat in the chair anymore. And then you have to kind of scrub back and go, yeah. It didn't just click. Like, it's a very, very slow morph into the guy there. And like, to the point at the end of the sequence where you can see his mouth flapping up and down, talking in the background out of focus. It's really well done.
You've got to link me this bit. I've got to see this.
I'll put it in the Discord.
My thing is, I like horror like that. I like the sort of subtle stuff like that. But I'm also a sucker for shitty zombie films and slasher films.
Yeah.
Have you seen the new Halloween?
I have not seen the new Halloween yet, no.
I don't know, I think I prefer it to the original, but I'm not going to say it's better.
Yeah.
I will definitely say it's the best Halloween sequel.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's so fucking good. They properly get what makes Michael Myers scary. And
yeah.
I just love the design of the new mask, because I know for the Rob Zombie films they made the mask look old and decayed, but it looked way too much, and Michael Myers was like a 7-foot fucking giant.
Yeah.
But in this, it's because they got the original guy back. I can't remember his name. The guy who was in the mask in the original film.
Yeah.
They got him back to do it, and
to mold the mask.
It was not to be on the mask, to be in the mask.
Right. Oh, okay, fine.
Because the original mask is a William Shatner mask, which they just modified.
Right. Okay.
But
oh yes. Yeah.
No, they got, I can't remember the guy's name, but they got him in the mask to get Michael's mannerisms right.
Cool.
Because obviously he's knocking on a bit now, so a few of the stunts were done by someone else.
Sure.
But it's just the fact there's so many little details. Like, if you look carefully, you can just see one of Michael's eyes is fucked up.
Right.
Because obviously in the first film he gets a fucking coat hanger jabbed into it.
Yeah, totally.
And the mask has a hole there where the knitting needle went in. It's all little subtle. I just don't get,
Ugh.
because they've basically just gone, it's just a sequel to the original. They're ignoring. I can get one to ignore the cult stuff from 4, 5, and 6. I get one to ignore Resurrection, but I don't get why they've ignored Halloween 2, because Halloween 2 happens the same night.
So I've only seen the first original one, and then for a laugh I watched H2O.
Yeah, H2O is pretty bad. The fucking bit with the CGI mask.
It's mental. But it's a bit of a laugh. But I like the fact that they're having this renaissance of. I think it does stem really from Stranger Things, where you have this thing of going, right, so this is an old throwback, let's celebrate it, let's go back and actually do it properly and do it justice, especially if it's a series that's been sullied by, it being not very well received or bad films being made based on it. And yeah, I think it's pretty cool. It's
all, is it Blumhouse?
Yeah.
All of them, they seem to be really putting the effort in.
I think they'll probably do the same thing for things like Friday the 13th.
I wouldn't be surprised if they do new Friday the 13th and reimagine it. Right, let's try and get back to the questions.
Yes.
Least favourite arc from Doctor Who, Hybrid.
This
is objectively, it's the fucking Hybrid. It's crap.
Yeah. Maybe the thing that really made me laugh about series 11 was everybody expecting the arc,
the timeless child.
And it was like, okay, fine. So that would have been quite a nice payoff if at the end of It Takes You Away, that frog wasn't there and it was like Susan or Ace or something. Because that would have been quite a nice kind of like full circle thing. But it's just a line of dialogue that people got really overexcited about.
I think because they were expecting it to be like Moffat and RTD, where it's this whole season long arc. I like the fact there's no arc in series 11. I'm bored of them. I like just having standalone stories again.
Like somebody's even put in the chat, like the Timeless Child being a bad arc. Like it wasn't even an arc.
No, it was just a
it was a line of dialogue people got really overexcited about.
Like fucking Dr. Freedom trying to do all these conspiracy theories about it and all this.
Sure, exactly. And it's like, if you've got to like prop up your channel by doing like nefarious link between stuff, then like whatever.
Does that Emergency Awesome guy still exist?
I don't know. I will now go on YouTube because I'm fascinated by the prospect of him still being there.
The guy fucking got my tits. The fact it's like, the Cybermen first appeared in Tomb of the Cybermen. The Daleks first appeared in Every Child. Google!
I know. He's still doing his thing.
Goody.
Yeah. Brilliant. Yeah, like somebody's saying in the chat, the Timeless Child is no more a story arc than the Oncoming Storm.
Yeah.
It's just a new name for the Doctor.
That's still my email today. The Oncoming Storm 1-to-1.
Jeez.
That's fucking
that's a throwback.
I just say it's a reference to the New Adventures and what the Draconians called the Doctor, honestly.
Yeah, that's fine.
My fucking webcam does not want to focus on my face today. I mean, I can't blame it, but come on. There we go. Sweet. All right, let's see what I've actually got to do fucking here now. I think I'm just wandering about.
Yeah, Matt's just been pouting.
He's been
scratching his head for. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was a bit lost.
I'm curious. What's your favourite and least favourite anniversary story?
I have a real soft spot for the two Doctors because Pat's really good in it.
I wouldn't class that as an anniversary story though.
Okay, fine, all right. Well, I mean, if you were to class the Target novelization, then that's like what is it? It's the 100th or the 50th Target novelization. So,
and people call me fucking pedantic.
The Five Doctors is cool. Obviously, that's like kind of the peak.
I think I do like the Five Doctors, but rewatching again recently, I think my biggest problem is there's not really much interaction between the Doctors.
No, that's true.
Dimension Time can fuck off. I don't care if Jenny's watching.
Yeah, Dimension Time can get in the bin. I'll annoy everybody and say Silver Nemesis is my favourite anniversary story.
I don't mind Silver Nemesis. I wouldn't say it's my favourite. I think probably Three Doctors are my favourite. Just because I really like Pertwee and Troughton's dynamic.
They're lovely.
The problem is
clearly having a laugh.
The problem is with Five Doctors is the only real interaction between Doctors for most of it is the first and fifth Doctors, and considering it's not Hartnell, it's a bit feels a bit of a cop out. Don't get me wrong, I do like Hundel's first Doctor more than fucking David Bradley's, but
yeah,
I still think it would have been nice to have maybe rather than the four separate groups or three separate groups doing their own thing. It'd been cool if they had like Pertwee team up with Troughton again. for most of it.
Yeah, like it's clearly dogged that the three Doctors by not having Bill in it that much.
Yeah.
But when he is there, it is kind of like obviously it was a necessity for him to be where he was doing what he was doing.
Yeah.
But the fact that he is there looking over everything, there is a sense of reverence about him. Which is obviously a product of him not being well enough to join them in the studio.
Shit, sorry, yeah, I just remembered, yeah, sorry, I changed my opinion, Schalke.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I completely forgot Schalke's an anniversary special.
Yeah. Yeah, Schalke's cool.
Day of the Doctor, I don't know, I need to rewatch it again, I sort of swing on it, there's some bits, I think a lot of it was the hype and all the big moments like, oh no sir, all 13, all that sort of stuff.
All 13, yeah.
But the plot itself is wank.
It is. My mum absolutely called, literally like 10 or 15 seconds before it happened, the I really think you might bit.
Yeah.
Like that whole bit with the Fourth Doctor, she completely called that like seconds before it happened. When it first went out. I
think my biggest problem with the Day of the Doctor is just John Hurt. He's good, but I can't see why they just didn't put McGann in there.
Well, it was originally written for Eccleston to be in it.
I get that, but then it's like surely like, oh, we can't have Eccleston. Why not just use McGann? Because it would have made sense.
Maybe it's that thing again of like Moffat going, I've got to put my stamp on this.
Yeah, but I
don't
know.
Like imagine at the end of The Name of the Doctor if the person that turned around was Eccleston.
Yeah,
that would have been awesome. And Paul had his moment in the sun with Night of the Doctor.
It just sucks that he's only 2 live action appearances of him regenerating.
Yeah, that's true.
So Night of the Doctor's cool, but I wish they'd fucking. I don't like that costume's grating on me now. It's nice. I prefer it to the Dark Eyes one, but in fact, every promotional material is using it now rather than the
exactly because they only took like 2 or 3 photos of him in the costume, so it's used on everything.
Again, I prefer that to the fucking Dark Eyes. Look at me, I'm a student on my gap year.
Yeah,
he's a mature student who's trying to blend in with the 20-year-olds. Like
the satchel thing's cool. It's very Ford Prefect, which is nice.
I also hate that sonic screwdriver. I'm glad they went back to his.
Oh, the Wetter Workshops one. Yeah.
I've got.
It looks like a fan build.
Yeah, I've got a replica of the TV movie Sonic in there. I'll go get it. 2 secs.
Yes, please. Show me.
Entertain the chat.
So hi everybody, how are you all doing? Sam's just running off to get a Sonic, and I will amuse you with my dulcet tones. I'm going to keep a very strong eye on the number of people that are watching the chat. If it goes down during this conversation, then I can only assume that it's got something to do with the fact it's just me talking.
Right. So it's going to be delayed, but this is the RB replicas. McGann.
Wait for it. Oh, I can already see it when you're putting your headphones on.
Oh god, it is delayed.
That is lush.
Wait for it.
That is so nice.
There we go.
Oh, hang on, wait. The sound did the thing. You're gonna have to wait for it to pop up on my screen. Sorry, everybody.
Actually, probably collapses in that, which is something I've wanted ever since the TV movie.
That is so nice. It's so beautifully machined. Like
yeah, RB replicas is very good. I want to get one of their Tom Baker Sonics as well.
Lush.
The only annoying thing with this one is the earlier versions. This had 2 different emitter heads.
Right.
So you had the metallic one, and you had a more powdery, flat matte one.
So you could swap them out.
Yeah, I mean, this does come off.
Yeah.
So I have got another sonic screwdriver somewhere with a metal.
The metallic one looks so much nicer.
Yeah, this is my favourite. I've also got the One Company Tenant Sonic, which is really nice.
Lush.
That's really fun. That's a really nice replica.
I think the one I'd really want is the TV movie one. Oh no, Second Doctor would be cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like the TV movie one just because like it's such a centerpiece at the start of that story.
Yeah. The only problem is this is broke my because I've got one of the Corgi Red Dwarfs. This broke it recently. Because I picked this up, I was like, oh yeah, put it back on the thing, and then it just pinged and launched my fucking Corgi Red Dwarf, and the RAM scoop's all bent up, so I've now got to sort of stick it in boiling water and try to reshape it.
I've completely buggered up the Corgi Starbug, like the legs are like hanging off by a thread.
I need to get one of them. I want to get one of the talking play sets they did.
I had that as well. That was really neat. I've still got my little I've lost all the other ones, but I've still got my little cat figurine.
Okay, we've completely given up on the game now, but
yes,
yeah. What do you think of Dave Iridorf?
I like it. I think that it's quite a nostalgia fest, but like, you know, there are some really good episodes in there, like Lemons. I even like Father and Sons is cool.
Father and Sons is great. That's my. I think that's probably my favourite Dave episode.
And I like the. I can't remember. I feel like I've missed the season, but whichever the finale was, where there was like they went back to Old Dwarf.
That was the last one. I think they are working on a new season at the moment. I think
they are. Yeah, but when they released, I think again it always happens where Robert Llewellyn's the one to go. Oh yeah, we're doing a new thing, and everyone's like, "Shut up! Stop talking about
Bobby!"
it." I know, he's brilliant. It's so lovely. But like I think they were gonna work on a live show, I think. Ooh. And maybe that was the plan, and that was what they were rehearsing for, because it seemed like they were doing a round table like read through.
There's been quite Danny John Jules been posting up quite a few videos of them hanging out recently.
They must be doing read throughs, but I would have assumed they'd announce, okay, we're doing a new series of Red Dwarf, and then do the read throughs. So,
I think the live show they would announce earlier, because obviously then you could buy tickets.
True.
I think I don't know, David Dwarf. It's very hit and miss. I still prefer it to like season 8 or something like that.
Yeah, or Back to Earth.
I don't know.
No, Back to Earth was Dave era, but
Back to Earth I don't mind just because Dave Lister has his original jacket back. That's
cool. Yeah,
look, I love modified leather jackets. My favourite. I've got one downstairs which actually has the Lister sheriff badge on it.
Awesome.
But yeah, the plot of the Back to Earth is bollocks. Like I said, I think series 12. The first half of that was terrible.
Yeah.
That fucking Time Wave, the one with
Time Wave.
Oh fucking hell!
I like the concept based Red Dwarfs, but yeah, that one did not run with me.
But I did like Mechok, I can't say it. The fucking one where they got Talkie Toaster back.
Mechocracy or something.
Yeah, and like I said, and Skipper, I did like just like seeing the original sets, and Norman Lovett really not giving a shit about his performance,
which is kind of everything from. Well, I mean, series 1 and 2, obviously the only ones he's really in, but
yeah, but in 7 and 8, he doesn't give a shit. Why don't they just get fucking Hattie back? She'd love to be back in it. I know she would.
Yeah.
And I generally do prefer Hattie's.
I prefer her character, but like, you can't beat Norman's timing.
Problem is, Norman's got more to do though, because series 3 they've got Hattie in, but also got Crichton, who's doing all the exposition and all that.
Yeah. So
she had quite a lot cut. She only really had one story sort of centered around her, which was White Hole.
White Hole. You can't really compare like a Holly-centric Norman Lovett story like, you know, Queeg to White Hole. But White Hole's still cool. I think it's still in my favourite season. I love. Oh, hang on, no wait. So that's series 4. I
think White Hole's series 5, isn't it?
Okay, well if it's series 5,
well, I get series 4 and 5 mixed up quite a lot.
Yeah, whichever season opens with it's series 5 is the one that opens with Quarantine. That's my favourite series.
Quarantine was halfway through the series. I think Quarantine was series 5. That was sort of.
Oh, hang on, I'm mixing it up because the first time I ever watched Red Dwarf was a tape, and it split the series.
Oh no, White Hole was apparently 4.
Right. Okay. The first episode on the tape was Quarantine, so in my head it's still the first.
No, series 4 opened with Camille.
Camille.
And series 5 opened up with Hollow Ship.
Hollow Ship's great as well.
I said 4 and 5 are probably peak Red Dwarf. I like series 3, but it's a bit grimy in places, I find.
Yeah, and I think series 6 is really overrated as well.
My problem with series 6 was for a long time that was my only Red Dwarf DVD. So I've watched that so much now, and I like the concept, but I don't like some of the stylistic choices. Like I don't like Lister's vest and dungarees. I don't like.
But that's the same thing that we were talking about with GoldenEye. It's just because they're so omnipotent, we watch them all the time. You know, I think that's the same thing with a lot of Doctor Who. Like, you know, I think Genesis and Earthshock are my favourite stories besides Curse, and it's just like they're so well known and so much has been said about them that it's the same with the Beatles. Like, okay, so the Beatles were a really good band. It's like, no, but actually go back and listen to their albums. You know, it's the same with Genesis and Earthshock. Like, there's a lot in there that's brilliant.
Wings was better.
and that's
Oh.
not true. What's your favourite Beatles album, Sam?
I don't fucking know. I barely know the songs.
No, you know the quote.
I generally don't. Oh yeah. Oh, the best of the Beatles.
Thank you very much. There we are. I'd have to say the best of the Beatles.
In general, like albums that with music in general, I know single songs, but I don't know what's on each album. And
yeah, like somebody was asking us earlier our favourite Muse album, and I was just like, I've completely.
I like
Muse.
I like Muse, but I don't know. The only sort of album which I listen to literally is the I can't remember the name of it. The first Evanescence album, which I got in my car.
Yeah.
Which I genuinely like Evanescence. Can you tell from my black lipstick and black dyed hair?
No, never. I just completely fell off a cliff with Muse when they did their last album, the kind of 80s throwback synthy. Basically, they basically just did that expansion for Far Cry. Was it Demon's Blood or something?
Oh, Blood Dragon.
Blood Dragon.
Blood Dragon's so good.
It is awesome, but the problem is when now Muse are basically doing their the 80s are cool again with stuff like Stranger Things, so we'll just do like a whole concept album based around the fact that there's like radioactive zombie werewolves and we're all driving DeLoreans and wearing like outfits that light up with like neon stuff, and it's like they've become a bit of a pastiche for me at this point, and like they've really like properly ballsed it up for like I like drones. I'm probably the only person in the world that likes Second Law. Like Muse for me are dead for the time being.
I've just seen. Have you? I take it you've seen the picture of Jodie Whittaker's birthday outfit.
I love her so much.
So cute.
I love her. Her interview with David Tennant on his podcast is awesome.
I've not listened to it.
It's so good. Like I was like, I think I'm in love with this woman. Like she is really, really awesome. And I had not an argument, but a really interesting debate with a guy at the show yesterday, where we basically had a conversation. He was like, so as a gay man, like when I saw Eccleston, I was like, oh my god, I like fancy the Doctor, and I was like, okay, that's cool. And he said, but as like a straight guy, do you feel the same about Jodie? I was like, well, firstly, the example you're using of fancying Eccleston is him being strapped up to that torture thing in Dalek with his shirt off. And it's like, okay, so that would never happen to Jodie.
No.
Ever. So like, I don't look at her in this kind of like, she's a woman, so I have to fancy her thing. Like, she to me is like an older sister who you love, who's just gone traveling for ages and started to, find herself and is just a bit daft, or she's like the young aunt in the family that everybody ignores and stops, like, they're like, shall we invite her to Christmas dinner because she's just going to be a bit of a nightmare.
Yeah, she's going to cause problems.
Exactly, and it's just like, I love her for that, and like that's how I see her. And then I had this whole conversation, like, if I fancy Jodie, do I fancy Sylve by proxy? Do I find him hot? So it was a really interesting discussion. I went a bit hoarse talking about it and lost my voice for like an hour.
I mean, yeah, I even when she first cast, I did make the joke of, for years I was criticising people who said, oh, I like David Tennant, he's so cute, and I'm like, oh shit.
I know, like now I fancy the Doctor.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I like her in that kind of, you can fancy somebody without being attracted to them.
Yeah.
I'm like, I am like in love with the idea of Jodie being like a mate of mine, but in that kind of level where nothing is ever going to happen, and I wouldn't want anything to happen. I just want to be your pal and like hang around with you all the time, and that to me is the kind of relationshipy kind of like that's the only thing that I kind of lust after with Jodie. It's just like, I just want to spend time with the 13th Doctor and have a laugh,
Yeah, I've no idea what I'm doing now.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we're playing a video game, aren't we?
I mean, in the video game.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I think I meant to take off, but I was really not paying attention. Do I just talk to Amy and ask what to do?
I guess.
Launch the TARDIS, right. Let's try. I'm going to try and focus on this.
If you do that, shall I just look through the chat and pick stuff out?
Yeah, please.
Okay. Lots of Red Dwarf quotes. That's great. I love Jodie in a very platonic way, but then all my love is platonic. Fair enough.
Oh shit! It's asking me to remember what I was doing. Fuck. I got to close the doors. So I think it's that one.
Right. Let me have a look. I'll go back through
Atom
the chat.
Accelerator, I think that's the twiddly little thing on the spikes. That thing, is it? I think that's the Atom Accelerator.
What's your favourite moment from Series 11?
Oh, Christ, I don't know. I'll let you answer that. I'm trying to...
The antimatter scene, that whole sequence at the end of Rosa, the Dalek, like that scene where the Dalek is attached to what's her face. I genuinely thought the girl in that episode was from Class because she looks identical to her. So that bit's really cool when they're driving down the road and the police officers pull her over and she's got the Dalek attached to her back. I like that bit. The music in that's really cool.
I love Resolution.
Yeah, the Dalek theme that Sagan has written.
Yes. Sorry, I did it.
It's awesome. I love that song.
An Earthly Child. The first episode's great. The rest's terrible.
Yeah.
But, back to Resolution.
Yeah.
Come on, they brought back the Remembrance gun sound effect. It's a really cool mix. It's just, it's way punchier.
It actually sounds like a ray gun. I quite like the sound effect from Genesis, but just because when people die, it's a really long, drawn out thing, and like that constant warbling while people are dying is really. Oh shit!
I forgot this one. I forgot this one led into the next game with the shark and the Vashta Armada.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's the one.
I don't think I finished this one.
Yeah, I think I'm doing that one with Ricky B. Brooks.
Ooh, yeah, exciting.
Which I will warn you guys now. We'll probably spend that entire thing talking about Vampire the Masquerade because he's the the storyteller for a game I'm having of it.
Ah, cool.
Yeah, he's because for years he's wanted to get me into a game of Vampire the Masquerade, and it's only recently I've managed to organise it with a few friends. We do it every couple of weeks on Discord.
Lush.
It's fun. It's really fun.
That sounds like a laugh.
Yeah.
They use the Moat. They use the Moat Studios for the voiceover. That's what Big Finish used.
Right. Well, we might as well just keep going for a little bit longer. I'm gonna quit this because I don't have to listen to the Smith theme over and over.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to the new VTM game.
Yeah. I don't know. I know so little about any of that stuff.
Hang on.
I'm actually going to have to Google it to make sure that I know what I'm talking about.
I have got right here the actual rulebook for V5, which was go on.
It's like a kind of D&D.
It's D&D, but edgy with vampires and politics.
Hell yeah!
Because a lot of the game is basically trying to keep yourself hidden from humankind. Tell you what, I'll send you the PDF because I've got a PDF of the book.
Lush.
If you fancy, even just because the artwork's really cool on that.
I'll have a look over it. Have you seen What We Do in the Shadows on BBC Three?
Not yet. I only just watched the film for the first time the other day.
Yeah, so like I watched the TV series because Matt Berry was in it, and I was like, I'll watch anything that Matt Berry's. And then my girlfriend, who's from New Zealand, she was like, it's a film. And I was like, well, there's a TV series based on it. And she said, oh, go and watch the film. And so I watched the film, having watched an episode or two of the TV series, and I couldn't. It's really funny, but I'm now so attached to the TV cast that is still my favourite iteration of it. So it's a weird one.
Yeah, Davos just said he's missed the beginning of the stream. Don't worry, that's going to go on YouTube. I'll just have to do some tweaking. What was I doing? Game information? Nope. Documentation. Copy link.
I'll go back to the top and I'll see if there's any more. Thank you, babe.
Yeah, it's honestly it's just for the artwork and that. It's really cool. In fact,
someone has said this is ages ago when we were talking about Bond that the GoldenEye game is better than the film.
I haven't played it because I never had an N64.
I bought an N64 like 5 or 6 years ago and played it, and it's cool, but like I can't get my head around the N64 controller.
It's so stupid. What? It's designed for someone with 3 fucking hands.
I know, it's mental. It's mental.
Have you played the remake they did with Daniel Craig?
Yeah, I did. I really like that one.
I did, but it's too much like fucking COD. Same with
I guess it's
007 Legends.
Oh god, I hate that game.
Yeah, same.
I despise
Calvin's video is quite good on that.
It's really, really good. Like when I played it, I was like, oh yeah, hell yeah! Like we get to play through all these old levels, and there are some really nice like reimaginings of those games.
Yeah.
Of those films, sorry, but It's just it's dogma.
And
the whole Skyfall level at the end, I didn't even get through to the end of it. I just gave up.
The thing is though, like, did you play the Moonraker level?
Yeah.
The ending of that, where you have to shoot the capsules of poison, that's exactly the same as the ending of Nightfire.
Yeah. But then again, Nightfire is based on like loads of different Bond films. Like Nightfire is based on Moonraker basically.
So I'm sort of showing off the V5 core book at the moment with the Buha clan.
There was supposed to be a sequel to Nightfire that came out after.
Phoenix Rising.
Phoenix Rising. It's such a shame that never got made.
Like, I like Everything and Nothing. The gameplay's really fun. The plot is fucking nuts though.
It's not. Yeah, like that is like if the Pierce Brosnan era continued.
If Die Another Day was on ecstasy.
Yeah, but literally, it's like it's like nanobots and all sorts.
And William Dafoe.
William Dafoe is amazing. Even like Agent Under Fire had like cloning in it and stuff.
God, it's weird that the one with space in it's probably the most grounded out of those three.
Definitely.
Do you remember the From Russia with Love game they did?
That was awesome.
That was weird though. Like, why that film or any of them? Because that's probably the least action-packed Bond film of all time. I
guess so, but then I feel like if you tread on the toes of like Goldfinger and do a game based on that, it would be. I don't know why they did far removed.
They just did an original story because most of it was pretty original anyway. Like all the jetpack stuff and the train fight and all that sort of stuff.
Exactly. Like, I love the whole. I quite like Bloodstone as a game. I think it's really.
I haven't played it. It looks good though.
It is really cool. Like it does that thing where you're looking out for things to make it Bondian. Like you're looking out for moments where you drive the DB5 in it. You drive the Aston Martin from Quantum of Solace in it.
Yeah.
Like there's some really nice moments in that game.
Aside from throwing the whole thing in a skip, how would you improve the current TARDIS set? Fun fact: that's where they found the TV movie console, wasn't it? Found it in a skip.
Yeah.
Jammy bastards.
And then it's just been in somebody's garage in the States for ages, isn't it?
The blog post's gone now, but there's a fantastic series of blog posts where they were restoring it.
Oh wow,
that was lovely. They've done such a good job on that.
I quite like the room itself, but the console I despise. It's going back to that whole thing where I'll just like bolt anything to it to act as a control.
I saw a fan rendering of it where they got rid of the columns, and that actually looked a lot better.
You don't really see enough of it because everything on the set is basically handheld, so you're only seeing it from somebody's point of view who's like in the console room.
The thing I hate is the fucking wibbly pillars at the top.
Yeah,
that looks so dumb.
Somebody at the convention yesterday said it looks like a crab that's died, turned upside down with its legs like pointing inwards.
Like I said, it's a
pretty good approximation.
It's such a shame because they went from such a bloody good console room. Yeah. I've not played Bloodstone. The Quantum of Solace game was, I can't remember it.
It was pretty good. Like I think that was just supposed to be, based on Casino Royale.
Yeah.
But then that like halfway through production, they were like, we haven't got enough to go on, so we'll just wait for the next one to come out. I love the multiplayer in that. The multiplayer in
I didn't really play much. Really the only game I played a lot of multiplayer was Nightfire, because everything enough in multiplayer was kind of crap. It was that weird co-op thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, like I only played a couple of bits and bobs.
I remember there was an arena deathmatch mode you could unlock by playing the co-op, because I know there was one level which I could never unlock on the PS2, but my friend had it unlocked on his GameCube one, where basically you're just in this massive arena and you've got Jaws chasing after you throughout the entire game, beating you up.
Oh Christ, that sounds cool. I like that.
Did you play Rogue Agent?
I played Rogue Agent, yeah.
The multiplayer on that was great.
I don't remember getting through the whole thing, but I loved all the the gadgets you could use to like shooting through walls and seeing people through walls and stuff was really cool.
Yeah, the multiplayer on that was really fun. And I liked the mechanic of being able to choose what guns in which hand.
Yeah.
So you I always went for the machine gun and the shotgun. That's a really good combo. Or getting the mag. No, there was the machine gun and the mag cannon, which could shoot through walls.
Lush.
It was so stupid. Why didn't they just have the story with the final boss was Bond?
Yeah, that would rather than kill him off at the start. Yeah.
The model though, it looked like the guy who they got for Agent Under Fire, didn't it?
What isn't the model from Agent Under Fire in Nightfire?
Yes, as an extra.
I love that.
If you go into the
you've killed James Bond again.
Yeah, well, he's in the helicopter, but he's also one of the models of the guests in the level where you're walking around the party.
Oh, I had no idea. That's cool.
Because I think if you look at the very early trailers for Nightfire, it was the same model again, but then they got the likeness.
Oh, really?
They managed to get the likeness of Pierce Brosnan. So
I'll have to have a look at that. I'll have to see if I can find some Nightfire trailers to see if he's see which one's in it.
What's the difference between a remake and a reboot? I don't think there's any difference between that. I know. I would say. Yeah, I think reboot and remake are just sort of interchangeable terms. I think reboot implies more of a expanded universe sort of thing, where there's going to be sequels, whereas remake is just like the Nightmare on Elm Street remake. It's just that one film. They probably wanted to do sequels, but that wasn't fucking happening because that was terrible.
I think a remake these days is like, you know, how close are you going to stick to the lore? Because you can have a soft reboot of something.
Yeah.
You know?
I've heard the new Child's Play is quite good.
I've got no idea about any of that franchise. Like that's totally over my head.
Yeah,
that whole thing.
Because going back to Vampire the Masquerade, that's what we thought. 'Cause did you see all the pre-release stuff they did for the game when they were announcing it?
No.
They did this whole augmented reality game thing where basically they announced this app called Tender.
Right.
Where basically it's like find your soulmate, and it turns out it's just basically a way for vampires to track down prey. But they did like a live unveiling. It was live streamed, and it's basically like a Steve Jobs tech demo thing.
Wow.
But it was basically just a LARP, where they basically had like a load of vampires storm the stage, kill everyone, and then they showed the trailer. It was
sick. That's awesome.
It was really cool. Like the entire thing's up on YouTube, the live stream, but I think you can still get the app. But it would be like clues to how to unlock more of the story, and that it's like everyone was getting involved because everyone knew it was going to be a Vampire the Masquerade thing, but they weren't sure what. It was only when we got the trailer it was like, oh shit, it's Bloodlines 2, and it looks unlike the original. It looks playable.
Great. It's something I'll need to like seek out information.
Have you ever played the original game?
Never played the original game. No.
It's fantastically written, it's fun, but it's a broken fucking mess.
Right, okay.
But this because there's a whole thing where it was using an early version of the Source engine from Half-Life 2, but they had to get the game out at the same time as Half-Life 2. They had to rush it. You can only play the game if you download fan patches to get it to work.
That's terrible.
It's that broken.
And everybody was aware of how messed up it was when it came out.
How did I get my water eye line so sharp? Practice. Lots of practice and reduced eyesight in one of my eyes because I kept stabbing it. I use a pencil myself. I can't use the liquid eyeliner. That's terrible. But yeah, Bloodlines 1 is... I played it again recently. I still enjoy it because the writing's really good and the story's fun. But the gameplay, it's got some of the worst combat I've ever had in any game ever.
Oh my god.
But I think it does prove how good the story is, that it's still got a fan base.
Sure.
But the new one looks good. There's still a few bugs because all the stuff's pre-alpha now, but it does look fucking great. I'm not sure why I'm talking about this because let's be honest, everyone in the chat, you're going to see this when it's me and Richard. That's probably all we're going to talk about.
I'll have to watch it so I can quiz myself up on it.
Because I've got to organise with him when I can get him in the stream, and then when we can organise our next game because we had to cancel last time because I was ill.
Oh,
it's annoying when you get really hyped up for the game. It's like I feel like shit.
Yeah, you can't bring yourself to do anything.
It's all right if you're typing it, but the fact you've got to role play the character, it's like
and if you're not into that kind of thing, then it's just it's a bit.
When you first do this, it's very awkward first getting into character and sort of talk like you're acting basically.
Yeah, I've done one like D&D thing, which was with a group of friends of mine, and we had to. I can't remember what the scenario was, but we were like, we were these like small animals that were taking part in a race,
okay,
like a rally race, and like it was really fun. Like I really enjoyed doing it. I'd like to do more of it, but yeah, it's that initial kind of you got to break the ice, and you've got to be the one to kind of put yourself out there and
when you first do it, you are basically really awkward and that, but eventually you just roll with it. It's fucking great.
Totally.
What character or monster would you bring back for series 12?
Oh,
I don't want to bring up the Cybermen just yet. I want to leave them off a bit longer.
I want them to be left long enough for them to deem it a good idea to redesign them.
Yeah.
You could visit like a different period in cyber history and have like the Earthshock ones back or something. You know.
I like the fact Big Finish started bringing back David Banks.
It's so cool. Hour of the Cybermen is really fun.
I've got to listen to it.
and they've got a new one with the Fifth Doctor that's coming out, and it's supposed to be like them encountering the Cybermen for the first time since Adrix died.
Oh, that's cool.
And they're trying to like deal with that and get over it, and that sounds really cool.
Yeah.
But obviously, the leader in that is going to be a different cyber leader.
Yeah.
And I just like the idea that they'll like encounter him and be like, obviously it's not the same one, but we're still pissed off at him. And
yeah.
That'll be cool.
I always had the idea that the cyber leaders change consciousness. Because the amount of times you hear the Doctor, so we meet again, Doctor.
Yeah, like so that's got to be the same one from Revenge.
Yeah, I just love the fact that bit in when the cyber leaders in the TARDIS goes, "You will live just long enough to appreciate it," or something like that, and you see him smirk, and it's like, for fuck's sake, it's so anti-Cyberman, but at the same time, it's fucking great.
It's so perfect for that interpretation of the Cybermen. Like the season 18 collection set has got some really nice uncut material from the studio floor when they were recording Earthshock. And like David Banks is wandering around like asking people for motivation and asking people what to do, you know, and like he's wandering around going, ooh, you know, which camera am I looking at and stuff. It's like, I bet whoever was it, Christopher Robbie, who played the cyber leader in Revenge, wasn't doing that, and he's clearly so into it.
I need to look at the Blu-rays. I've not really looked into getting them, but I want to see all the behind the scenes stuff and the new effects.
It's well worth it for the last two they put out, because obviously the material exists from the studio where you can watch all that stuff unfold.
I've heard that. It's quite good on
with Series 12, it's like, you know, or Season 12, there's not an awful lot of stuff to go off in that regard, which is a shame.
Yeah.
So I think that's the nice thing about the later releases, is we'll get more.
It's going to be good with the McCoy era, because they've still got all the outtakes and everything as well.
Yeah, totally. That's going to be awesome. Like when they eventually put out Season 26 or whatever, like that's going to be really cool to see the final sequence shot of Doctor Who in the studio, and I mean, I think that might even be on the DVD.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it'd be really cool to see it.
As for, again, returning characters, I'd like to see the Sontarans come back, but be Sontarans again. And not. I know a lot of people say, oh, Stephen Moffat made the Sontarans a joke. Originally, it was just Strax that was the shit one. But then you see those two Sontarans in Time of the Doctor being dumb, and it's like, oh, he's made them all like that.
And I think the thing that I certainly had an awakening over was that they are ultimately, they've always been kind of comic foils, because they take themselves way too seriously. Like when Lynx steps out of the ship and plants that tiny little flag, like that's really funny, but it's not done in a way to like ridicule the individual Sontaran. It's more the idea of that kind of nationalistic, militaristic kind of thing, you know.
I do think there needs to be a element of comedy to the Sontarans. The pomposity is the main joke, not them being just shit.
Yeah, exactly. I've always had this fantasy that there'd be an episode where the Doctor and her friends go to visit Strax and Vastra, and they're like having a nice time and they're having a tea party or whatever, and Strax is being funny, but he's like slightly distracted, and they're like, what's the matter? And he's like, oh, nothing, don't worry about it, it's all fine, and blah blah blah. And then like his platoon that he went AWOL from lands in Victorian London, and they assassinate him like in the pre-credits. And they're like, well, that's your punishment. And while they're there, they're like, should we just like take over Earth while we're here? And then like it's like Sontarans versus like Beefeaters in the streets of Victorian London, just like blasting each other back and forth.
I'd like to see an adaptation of Shakedown.
Yeah, I mean, I think in Shakedown they're pretty good.
Yeah,
but
I love the design.
They're quite humorless, is the only problem.
Yeah.
They don't have that wry kind of, we're a bit silly, but they get the job done is really it, you know.
There was a 10th Doctor, I think the first 10th Doctor comic had the Sontarans, didn't it?
Wow, that's a
Blood of
throwback.
I can't remember what it's called, some strange title, but it had the because it was obviously before they came back in the series. They had the original designs, so the silver spacesuits. It was a quite good story if I remember correctly. It's like the Sontarans on an ice planet and stuff like that.
Cool. I really hope we get more comic book adaptations, because I really want to see the Flood done for a big finish. If
anyone hasn't read the Flood, read the Flood. I've got a PDF of it on here. I've got the physical book in the other room.
I love the bit at the end where it shows the Eighth Doctor regenerating in the comic.
Yeah.
and they've got the render of the Ninth Doctor in his costume. That's really cool.
My biggest problem with it's one of the things I'll never forgive the new series for was getting rid of a lot of the spin-off stuff because the books obviously ended, and we lost out an entire fucking story arc with Destry. Not Destry. It is Destry.
It is Destry. Yeah.
Okay, because I used to pronounce it Destari, but that's the guy from Two Doctors.
That is.
But Destry was so good. One of my favourite companions.
She is awesome. She is awesome. I think she's probably, besides your Lucy Millers and your Charlotte Pollards, I think she's probably the best ancillary media companion.
Did you see the I think it was for the 500th magazine. They did like a big celebration comic.
Yeah. And
Destry came back, and I was like, ah!
It is brilliant.
I proper freaked out. I was like, oh fuck.
Yeah, she's brilliant. She's such a cool character, and like she's a really nice foil for the quite prim and proper Eighth Doctor.
I'm very much a fan of bad guys becoming good guys, that trope.
Yeah.
Because she does start off as just this fucking dickhead who caused Izzy to be stuck in a fish body. And then they sort of unveiled stuff about her being bred into being a warrior and all this stuff. And then her uncle fucking brutalising her after she stops his plan.
Yeah, or even just the idea of having an alien companion.
I'd love an alien companion. Or even a historical companion.
Yeah.
Or a future companion. Anything other than just, 21st century London.
I get that it's a window in for the audience to relate to them.
But especially now we've got 3 companions. There was definitely room to have...
If you were to drop 2 and, like, say you kept, like, Yaz or Graham...
Okay, like, I've just off the top of my head, mainly because it was kind of similar to a fan film I wrote years ago, what I would have done was, rather than having the 3 main characters, I'd had possibly Yaz and Graham, possibly, and then rather than it being some random human, is it Stenzai? Stenza. The Stenza was hunting down. It was another alien which had been sent to Earth. The Doctor rescues that alien, and that alien joins the TARDIS.
That'd be really neat.
That'd have been cool. They could have even had what Destry had with the necklace, where they look human.
Yeah.
That could have been cool. Which is something I'm surprised they didn't do for Chameleon. Why didn't they just... I know they couldn't work the prop, but why didn't they just have Chameleon take on a human form?
I think it's big, like, they got to the point, and they even mention it in the documentary talking about Chameleon, where they're just like, we just forgot that he was a character that existed.
Yeah.
And they just completely dropped the ball with him.
Wasn't Awakening where there's the deleted scene with him?
Yeah.
I've never seen that scene.
There's at least one deleted scene with Chameleon.
He's just pottering about in the TARDIS.
Yeah, just like wandering around doing.
Because wasn't it like they built the prop and then the guy who built the prop died in a boating accident or something like that?
Oh my god.
Yeah, I think like his boat blew up and he's the only fucker who knew how to work the thing.
Crikey.
Why didn't they just put a bloke in a costume?
I think
it's clearly J&T being like, this is the future of Doctor Who, full robot companions. Isn't this cool?
It's definitely.
What do you mean
like
boat accident?
It's definitely like a press point.
Yeah.
For like Doctor Who, like they've got a fully autonomous robotic companion that's literally a robot.
Yeah.
Like that's definitely something they can put on Tomorrow's World and Blue Peter and like promote the series through.
I think sort of towards McCoy they sort of stopped doing that apart from maybe Ken Dodd and what's the guy Nicholas Parsons in
even they're like great in their individual
roles.
Was
good in that. Even Halen Pace was pretty good in Survival.
We had a conversation about Halen Pace in Survival for yesterday's event, and it was like they are so inoffensive that you can't be annoyed they're in there, like even as stunt casting, like, and they actually seem to be slightly invested in it because before they started shooting Survival they swapped their characters around, and it's like so clearly they were doing it properly, you know. It wasn't just like a cash grab for them. Like,
I'll be honest, I'm a massive cat lover. I've got 2 cats myself. The bit was someone's eaten tiger. That actually upsets me.
I know, it's great. Like we were talking about that. Like that whole episode is so morose and like it's so grim.
Yeah.
And like if you don't like cats being hurt, then you know Master's not going to be particularly nice or alright for you.
I fucking need to watch Survival again now. I forgot how good it is. Just the start, Mitch. The start.
It's brilliant. We annoyingly, when we recorded the event yesterday, somebody who works at the venue might have unplugged the charger from the camera. So you get like the first 50 to 55 minutes of it. To be honest, all you miss is the bit at the end where we tell the anecdote about me being given a Dapple toy as a kid when I was in hospital.
What did you get?
Oh, the Master.
Oh, that was probably the best figure they did.
It was brilliant, but when I got it, I'd just been in hospital for an operation, and I was lying in bed, and Mum came up and said, you know, I was obviously very upset, and she was like, "Oh, quick, Ed, get him a toy." So he went down to Forbidden Planet in Bristol when it was still, you know, where it was originally was, and he got me the Master, but the legs were on back to front.
Yep, that's Dapple, all right.
It's perfect. It's just Dapple in a nutshell. But yeah, so at the end of the show, Matt actually did a live recreation of the last scene from Survival, and Sam the compere had the music playing in the background.
Aww.
So I was Ace and he was Sylve, and we did it, and that was how we rounded it out. Big round of applause. It was lovely, but that bit sadly didn't make it into the final cut. But there's still like a good.
You'll have to recreate it yourselves, I'm afraid.
We will. We've
nice.
Still got the recreation video coming up soon, hopefully. With Johnny as the Seventh Doctor.
That's great.
Doing bits and bobs. Like we got him to do. This is the Doctor, President-elect of the High Council of Time Lords, keeper of the legacy of Rassilon, and he does that first bit and goes, "Right, I'm done." And it's like, well, hang on, you've still got like a whole scene left to do. He's like, I can't remember it. I was like, well, we'll get the script out.
How can he not remember it?
I know it's disgusting, but he hit the he did the Dragonfire recreation pretty well. Like that was magic.
I vaguely remember him in the video doing the Dragonfire umbrella dangle.
Yeah,
the banister.
I think I sent it to you like as it was like just that one clip, and yeah.
Oh shit! Sorry, I've just accidentally revealed that. Sorry, guys.
No, it's cool. I think we even tweeted like a screenshot of Johnny doing it, so that's still in the works. And
that's the benefit of being friends all this lot. Like I used to get clips from 5 Who fans videos months before they came out.
Exactly, yeah. So you know you've got a little tidbit there. Of,
I was when they announced, I think it was Crystal, when they did the recreation of the end of Day of the Doctor with all the 5 Who fans looking up at the space. I was the camera person on that.
Awesome.
Yeah, because that was the same time we did the photo shoot for the Amazing Wanderings. So that's when I had the fucking Ali G beard stuck on my face doing the Master.
I love that. That's iconic. That.
Oh, I think they are still doing some more. And I think they do want to get me back as the Master. When it happened, they were like, "Do you want to change to performance? Do you want to do like a missing?" I went, "No, I need to keep doing the Anthony Ainley thing. I need to. The beard's needed. If anything, I've now got eyeliner to make it even more accurate."
Excellent. Like I was in one of the last ones they released, and I think I'm a continuing character.
I think I vaguely remember. Yeah, they got me in for that
one.
Pomp Redemption. Yeah, that was it.
That's the one. So like I'm definitely in it going forward, but I don't know anything. I've not been told about it.
I just really want them to do a live action one so I can actually do this in person.
That'd be ace. That'd be really cool.
I just need to buy the beard. It's only got £2 on Amazon. It's literally just an Ali G beard, which I had to double-sided tape.
You made it work. You work it off fully. It looks fantastic.
Oh fucking hell! Right, I think we should start wrapping this up because it's been for 2 hours now.
Cool. Yeah. My arse has gone numb.
Yeah, same. And I want to get some food. So yeah, is there anything you want to plug before you fuck off?
Twitter, Facebook. The Review of Death's on Facebook. It's on Twitter. I'm on Twitter. Matt's on Twitter. The YouTube channel. Matt's got the Batman March channel, and the Review of Death one, and the live show that we did yesterday in Bristol at To the Moon. Is going to be hopefully going up in a week. So. That'll be out next Saturday, hopefully.
Sweet. Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, this was fun. Next one is it Shadow the Vastra Devada next?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's going to be with Richard B. Brooks whenever we fucking organise it, because Richard.
And then you've only got one more to go after that.
Yeah, that's going to be with Chris Johnson, because he's in it.
You'll naturally move on to doing Destiny of the Doctors afterwards.
If I can get hold of a copy, I'm definitely fucking playing that.
Hell yeah, that'd be awesome.
I want to get Dalek Attack running on this, but Amiga emulation is terrible on PC.
I reckon if you get around to doing Destiny of the Doctors, we should try and organise everybody who's been in the adventure game streams to all be together, and we can all be there to play through Destiny.
Oh Christ, that would be a clusterfuck. That's because there's 3 people in the first one alone.
I know.
Oh fuck! I want to play that. I want to try and find, because there was a Brain of Morbius text adventure I played before.
Hell yeah!
It was great. It was basically just the Fourth Doctor going back to Khan to recover Morbius's brain.
Oh, I need to find out about that.
Only it's been taken by the Cybermen.
Right. Okay.
I just remember because there's a part where you go to the sisterhood, and you can choose to kiss one of the sisters, and you get chucked out.
Jeez.
Yeah, and I definitely am at some point going to do a playthrough of Fallout New Vegas. Who Vegas?
Cool.
Yeah, I love the Alien Destiny of the Doctors. The only downside for me is though all the versions online from the DVD, which doesn't have the music.
Oh right.
Because the in the original, but we talk about the different Doctors, it has the a remix of the Doctor Who theme playing, which is a really good cover of the theme, like really dark and creepy.
I don't remember anything about it.
I'll try and find it. If I find a link to it, I'll chuck it to you. But it's so good.
Lush.
Right, I'm gonna start wrapping up now. Thanks for watching. This will be up on YouTube within a day or so. I've just got to check through the file, make sure I'm not going to get copyright striked like last time. But I think I'm alright. Right.
Excellent.
Talk to everyone later. Bye bye.
Cheers, gang. Bye.